fully re-res on that side of things, but teams are going to be hunting them down today. I talked to Noki beforehand. He said that this team lives and dies by that momentum. When they're going strong, when they're going hard, then they can keep going harder. But if they slow down early on today, it could be detrimental to performance. And the guys on the desk, they said it very well, John. The top 5 essentially need a 30-point game. There's a lot of teams to take that here.
Let's see if anyone else can try and slip through the cracks as well. Oro were able to take down a player from Fourth Rise early in 7-2-1. Will lose most of their slate as well in the fight with Flash, who play on 3 Elim points now. BTR managed to rack up a point, or a knock certainly, to start things off. Gaming Stars will feel the brunt of the pressure coming through from Razak. Nice sprayed out for 2. BTR going to pick up the points.
Much needed points as well down at the bottom of the table. It's currently in 14, just lapped TT Project. Furia finding Reefus. Horror continues to go crazy over towards DK Razy with a
你好，我是小天，我在听。
For the distance. This is so funny to me that you're having this situation that anytime a team tries to aggress on fourth drives, suddenly that team is getting third party or they're being held out. So fourth drives is essentially guarded by 4 separate teams at the moment. No one can make their way over to them.
They have such a stronghold here. IQ picks up. Was that a knock? Was that a flush? I think it was just a knock so far, but they would love to find more. Another team goes down and one step closer to the placement points. 7-2-1 have Malik down out in the open. I think that was the knock that IQ was able to find for fourth drives. The circle gives them the loop as well, and it's going to push it right over towards the Pakistani team. They are having the time of their lives right now.
This is 100% match point. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind at this point with Falak and the rest of fourth drives just in this gorgeous position, protected by so many squads on the outside. And this is when you have to change up the game. You have to hunt down these teams, and they're just making it so hard for themselves to even gain more points on the day. Because now you open up a fourth rise win at any point.
I'm looking up the question of the north side here, Blank. What are Team Flash and Ulf going to do? They could potentially try and ruin fourth drives here out on that eastern side. I think for Ulf, it's probably more likely. Team Flash, maybe a little bit more of an outside chance, but there's another knock going over and through. That means another team is out and we are into placements now. They have guaranteed at least one more. 2 more teams need to go down for them to jump up to 2 placements, or a single elimination is what they're looking for.
Just 1 point required now for fourth drives. A very, very simple game for them, and they have information, general localization over towards GameStar as well. The fourth drives, this could not have gone better for them on this game. And again, they're just a team that's willing to make these pushes.
Finding a spot over towards Team Flash, who have sent 2 of their players across the water on the swim. Got their trunks on. Ulf trying to move in behind them now, though, and it may just be too difficult. There is still a little sliver of that northern side in play, which does make their life a little bit easier.
I think a knock over towards Boom is nice, though. That's going to open things up because now they only have 2 guns to face here. Fourth Rise might look over towards Ulf. It's an important team to take shots over towards. Solus is popped out the back of the vehicle, but they get underneath the bank.
9, they've got it. Blank, they've got it. They've got that extra elim now, and fourth drives are into the match point with the placement that they'll earn off this game guaranteed. It's very likely that one of those teams on the north goes down soon as well, with Team Flash on the ropes. Top C goes down. We're on 7 teams now remaining, and they are starting to burn through these players.
Just no one's looking at this squad. I mean, it's the important squad to look at. And there feels like there's just been absolutely no attention paid to this team. It's mind-boggling because it's the squad that needs to go out in this first match on Rondell the earliest. It's unfortunate, it really is. Ulf still doing well though, as best as they can. Boom up to 8 points on this. They passed that 9th-point barrier. Octa finding a shot over towards Falak, though.
It's super resible. They're just so safe on this eastern side. I think you're right, teams haven't pushed into them. I think their position, though, in this match, with these circle shifts specifically, has been pretty unassailable, right? With solid holds, it's been very, very difficult. The only team that might have been able to do it was Furia earlier on.
Or 7-2-1. I think most of the time when it's come down to it, it's just been other teams third-partying the squad, going for 4 thrives, and realistically, they set themselves up well, where they have to play on this bank edge, right? Where they have the entirety of this circle over towards the eastern side. They know it's clear, so there's going to be no team shooting them from the back. So we do have to give them credit for that. They place themselves in a position where it's other teams that are going to get assaulted and not them. They're at the back of the queue when it comes to those engagements. Now the real test, 4 thrives versus Ulf, because with that hard shift over towards the northwest side, that look now seems to be dwindling away from the Pakistani team, but they've already found match point. So their job's technically already done here.
How much further could they go, though? Because even if you do get past match point, remember, you do have to then subsequently get a chicken dinner to get that smash victory, right? And that isn't as simple as just doing it. You have to take those spots. You have to take those knocks, take those fights. So points still very much could come into play here for 4 thrives. They would love to put more distance between them and Fury. As it sits, they're at least 42 points ahead. So they're making it tasty. A big push, not coming through from 4 thrives, though. It's coming through from Gaming Stars. The Turkish team now look at us slam straight on into the position. But 4 thrives have managed to heal it up. IQ goes for 1. IQ looks for more, but has to fade back away. The rest of his team now to pick up the mantle, and they are mincing through Gaming Stars. They put themselves in. The red highlight on the kill feed comes through.
This is just so good from 4 thrives. An unbelievable performance from them. From yesterday, coming into today, Noki said, we're not going to change anything. We're just going to keep going. We don't want to stagnate. We want to stay on fire on these matches, and they certainly have here. There is a bonfire lit beneath the feet of the Pakistani squad. So cool to see here from 4 thrives. And no one else even takes a look in. Technically, their rotation in is not that terrible.
I mean, if you're Boom, I don't think you really need to be stepping out here. They are just holding down their compound. They've profited so much off this. 10 eliminations.
The thing is here, with the speed at which they're differentiating themselves from every single squad in the lobby, I think at this point in time, the only way another team wins this by the end of match 6, if we get there, is by smash.
They're going to have such a lead. A knock comes through. Octa finally chiming in. A second will be found. More knocks raining down the hill. Balak and T24 could potentially be going down here, but the rest is going to come through as fast as they can pick them back up. Ulf have not been able to move all the way forwards. IQ will keep it together a little bit. There's that first but a huge save from up on high. Boom, blast away the tournament leaders. Ulf are there to pick up the slack. Huge nade comes in. What on earth was that? What on earth from IQ? He's able to blast them back. He says, no, you're not stepping to us today.
IQ taking the nade genius test, and he comes out on top with a double there onside. Fantastic work from him playing as a backstop. 16 points. Like I said, the only way 4 thrives lose this tournament is to a smash.
And every other team that was chasing didn't do super well here. Ulf was the closest team. They've just got taken down. They are not going to be anywhere near them at the end of this match. You're absolutely right. The question is,
double their points.
19?
Exactly. Exactly double the second place team's points.
How solid is that 92 boundary?
The real question, I mean, again, this is the thing though, Rondo was that map to get the 30 points. It's not as available on other maps. You have to try so much harder, put in so much extra work because the res beacons aren't there. And with 4 thrives being so far ahead, it's the mental game now. These guys, they are having a leisurely day out here at PMGO. There's no pressure whatsoever. They know that even if they just get to match 6 and perform kind of well, they still win.
Boom, take a knock from S2G. Blank, I think this is probably the most dominant points gap we've seen since 2019 in Malaysia with BTR, who I think like 100 points. Obviously, the point scoring system was different back then, but it's the most crazily dominant points gap we've seen since 2019. And I would say it may be even crazier than that.
Fourth try, able to do it here. Got something to prove. Boom, though, similarly, trying to go for the same thing. The team yesterday, they didn't do horribly. I don't think they performed up to expectation. Now looking to push themselves further up those tables. Through Rondo, Solke goes down, and honestly, this sort of was the winning position from the start of the match. Boom, took it in both their hands and have not let go since.
Trying to keep it together, though, with their 3 players now remaining. Another nade over the top. Solke is low, and that's going to finish it off. Another point added to Boom's tally. Blank with a chicken dinner here. They would jump up in towards second place and be the closest competitor towards that smash boundary. So for Boom, there's a lot on the line here. S2G and TT Project sit in their way. But this is also a big game for TT Project, remember, because they're trying to jump up and get in towards that 11th place.
Did Boom raid the armory? How are they coming into these final fights with 12 nades total? Good damage, good shots coming through from Neo. Sanju finally goes down and his reign of terror is over. But the nades keep pouring through. The airburst not quite finding the damage. They've still got more to send, but Boom is down on their knees.
Getting the res now. They need to pick themselves back up. S2G still trying to put nades uphill, but it's not going to work. TT Project with 16 nades, but not quite in range of either team just yet, as Boom look to flex out. Get a little bit more of a foothold on the low ground as they rotate onto the north side. But TT Project have read this. They're going to drop through as well. And S2G seem to be eating the brunt of this rotational pressure.
TT Project, the Vicious's lives lie in their hands, and right now they're looking to put them down. Shots over towards Octa, trying to create a forward position for the rest of the squad. El Beryl, as well as Sanju, though. 2 players you cannot scoff at here. Sanju consistently having good nades, and there's another.
Looking for more as well. Boom, if they get into second place here, Blank, they will be able to jump up into second place, but Lost is still in the fight. And it's all down to the one player for Boom, and he's taken a lot of damage. There's more nades still coming. This first aid needs to be big, and he's just about survived it. One more nade and one more smoke. Maybe all it takes, but Boom have run the cupboard dry. No more nades in pocket. TT Project is starting to go low as well, though.
El Beryl, it's a 1v3, not to mention the 2 players behind. Move slightly forward, but into the purview of the nades. An unfortunate step up coming through from Boom, but they end their game on 14 eliminations into 3rd place. It's not terrible. S2G, it might be a little late to be stepping up now, guys.
A TT Project, this is their game to push up into 11th place with another nade over the top on towards Lost. It's just Hamdi now raiding, and he is caught taking a dirt nap. The shots to the back will shut it down, and for TT Project, this could be their EWC spot on this game.
It's on the cards for them now. But the biggest story of all, 4 Thrives doubling the point scoring from second place, getting into match point. Game 1, how short is this day going to be?
I mean, that was an impressive display coming through from 4 Thrives. They put themselves in such a strong position. They did everything they needed to do, but now it's chicken dinners that really matter to them. That is the only thing that they should be aiming for. With the points buffer they have, they shouldn't be caring about eliminations. It is all about getting to those final circles in those strong positions. Sometimes eliminations will help you with that, sure, but it's the focus that they need to be going for the long game.
The rest of the squad's here inside the lobby. We've got to look all eyes on 4 Thrives now, right? This last game felt lackluster to me in terms of playing off the back of the smash roll. But going forward, 4 Thrives are going to have a big old bullseye landed right on their back.
their trip to the Esports World Cup, Max.
Oh, yeah. The IFWC and the cards taking it away from the side of Vicious. What a great chicken dinner entry from the western side, gatekeeping all of those teams on the bridge. Congratulations to them on that one. But, boys, we need to talk about the Pakistani squad. 4-5-7, securing themselves a spot in the Smash Zone in Game 1 of Rondo.
Any chance that anybody thought that the pressure was going to be too much for them, that they weren't going to be able to handle it? I personally didn't have them hitting that smash roll in the first game. Boy, did they blew that out of the water. The thing is that the way that they were able to actually play that was so well. The 2-2 splits that we saw out of this squad and the way that they were able to defend against other squads, what was so impressive to me, holding their composure and making sure they fixed up mistakes that we saw yesterday as well.
Oh, exactly. Like yesterday, we saw sometimes some 2-1-1 splits or some even 3-1 splits that were just not working out. The 2-2 splits onto the eastern edge you just brought up here, Seven, were just the reason why they were able to survive for so damn long. Because one play goes down, you have a teammate ready to back you up, and like IQ apparently doesn't need a team because one nade onto Ul, the entire squad goes down.
And even earlier on, they were surrounded by Aura players, by S2G, so they were expected to be hunted down. I can't wait to see. I know we're currently looking at the highlights for Rondo, but I can't wait to see what the next game is going to be like and how they're going to be able to react to more pressure.
Kita bisa adaptasi ya. Sabar, ada yang dekat nih. Ya. Sabar, gua naikin kencang, gua naikin. Dia bantu gua laju nih. Sabar, gua ada bantu. Bom. Nice. Kasih gitu ya. Gua di kanan ya. Turun, mobil begitu.
Great stuff there from TNT Project. Put in some good numbers on the board. And I love the fact that we can hear the crowd roaring through their mics. That is how pumped up this arena is, Max. And especially, right, for the hometown squad of Boom. Man, did they? You said they were going to do some hunting today, and they definitely did.
Oh, they definitely did. By the way, just at the end of that game, how the hell do they have that many grenades? I think Blank said they raided the artillery. I think even an artillery doesn't have that many grenades. Realistically, they were just making it rain down on a competition. But no, going back to your point, they did in fact chase down top of Aurora.
Immediately.
And it was not just a small chase. I think they went like 1,000 meters in his direction just to get rid of top. And you can see after that, they even lost, I believe it was Reefus. So it was down to Doc and also the side of Ziol to get the full recall and Aurora back into the game.
And I'm sad, boys. I'm sad to see not only that, I'm actually not sad to see that Octa got that MVP with those 6 cylinders because they were just so aggressive. But I am sad to see that Aurora just couldn't readjust, man. It came down to them hopefully having to readjust with what they saw yesterday. And throughout the match, even though they didn't really end up losing a player because they did have the recall option, that was just, it didn't look like Aurora. It was so passive. They were waiting for the right time for a team that has a lot to catch up if they want to go into the championship. He almost felt, Max, to me like they were just waving a white flag.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a bad time. But it really strikes me that Aurora is a squad that if they cannot play their own game plan that they've set up at the very inception of the tournament, they're going to start to crumble piece by piece. And in this case, they were just, sure, they made it to the late game, but they feel like they weren't even there.
You and I were talking about something yesterday. When was the last time we saw an IGL win an MVP? And it came down to Doc, I believe, in the BMWC, right? One man, that's the IGL. IQ, 7 eliminations that last game. And I mean, TT Project, 20 points. That looks good, Juice.
That is enough. That should be putting them in a good position to get to the Esports World Cup. Max, they are trying to get top 11, correct?
Exactly. Top 11 right now. I mean, with a 20-pointer, it was so close at the bottom of the ranking. So I think this game actually will be their straight-up ticket to Paris for the PMWC at EWC. The second page, Furia. Not taken down by anyone, taken down by 4 Thrives themselves. And they had initially a decent entry point. I thought it was going to work out because they had some significant angles on the positions of 4 Thrives. And just again to highlight what Blanco said, it feels like they have a guardian angel where you crash that team, and there's another team that decides to get involved,
man, the
and that
timing.
gives just a little bit more space and time for Fourth Rives to reset and then take the fight the direction of Fourth Rives.
102 points, folks. They only needed 10. They doubled it with every single team spending all of last night studying them and only them.
They have double the points of second place. They have double the points of Ulf in second. I'm generally, I don't know if you guys agree, but I have never seen a point gap this significant in a global finals ever.
I've definitely seen one. We'll talk about that in a bit because
wasn't
John
there.
actually brought it up. It was PMCO history lesson real quick. PMCO 2019 Fall Split Global Finals. Bigatron was in first place with 303 points. In second place was 197 points. The difference, 106 points at the end. If for some reason Fourth Rives ends up making this a six-day match, a six-match day, they might break that record too.
How many day finals was it?
I believe it was 3.
So actually, in terms of a 2-day format for finals, it's still a record technically.
Honestly, that would be the craziest thing ever, considering the fact that if they win one more match here, this tournament's over. So they'd have to get a ton of eliminations and nothing but second places to actually break that record.
The thing now for this squad is, as you were saying earlier, Max, they really don't have to worry about the eliminations. The eliminations weren't coming to them. They just have to worry about their rotations, and the rotations was out perfectly. One thing that we actually noticed quite well in that last roundup from this squad is they could have just gone and split squads. They could have fully sended, but no, they were passive. They waited for the right time. They made sure they took their time, scout, see what Aurora was going to end up doing, because Aurora actually ended up doing that crazy splitting between those and then just go into the circle. I love what I'm seeing out of Fourth Rives here. The composure, the patience, and making sure they have everything, a perfect image of the mat before they actually make their next move.
As we take a quick overview of the carnival area here in Jakarta, Indonesia, looking back at Fourth Rives, I'm actually really happy they did not qualify right away through their group. I feel like the survival stage saved them, gave them so much more experience and also exposure to this lobby. Now, all the fixes that we talked about, those 2-2 splits are beautiful. The rotations are on point. And if you guys were looking at the North American scene last year, we had a smash from walls, low eliminations. That's all you need. You don't even have to get a single elimination. All you need is that chicken dinner hot tricks to be crowned the PMGO Season 1 Grand Champions.
You can take a look at that trophy right there, folks. And as soon as you said that, that trophy shook a little bit right there, because I think Fourth Rives it is calling their name. It is. I don't even know who's going to stop these guys at this point. I got to be realistic, folks. That is so many points they are ahead. And we saw in that last game, right, a team perfectly third-party squad that was crashing on them. Even fate seems to be going in the favor of Fourth Rives at this point.
We'll have to see a lot more aggression from some of their squads. You got to give props to like Bigatron, to Boom as well. This is the aggression that we kind of expected to see out of this squad, and I don't expect them to slow down, especially with how crazy the crowd got here. You can feel it vibrate. I know these players can't hear them, but you can feel the vibrations whenever they would get an elimination, whenever they would even start engaging. The crowd would just go absolutely nuts. I'm going to be looking to Boom and Bigatron to get even more elimination points.
Well, let's see who's going to get them as we go into Aaron Gale. If Fourth Rives win this game, this tournament is over, and they will be crowned your PMGO Season 1 champions.
This plane might have to stretch it, or actually you're going to have to stretch a decent amount to make it to that Western Bridge. Are we going to see some teams try and catch them off guard as they try and make that pivot? That is going to be a bit of a question mark into this game. Otherwise, I feel like, Seven, we've seen worse plane paths in PMGO Season 1. But the western side, next to Pachinki and Western Bridge, that's where really things are going to get dicey.
Or do they maybe want to just go for a second draw? They maybe want to end up going somewhere else because of just how, honestly, their drop location is so exposed. It's one of the most exposed drops that I think I've ever seen. And they've been landing. They're landing right now. Oh, I think they're just going to be going for it. One thing that you do have to watch out, though, for is Furia. We've seen Furia take teams out near farm.
Got to be careful. They don't have to fight over vehicles. Hopefully they can get another vehicle without having to fight. But there's a lot of teams around them, Hot Troops. It might get spicy in the phase 1.
It's going to get spicy indeed as we take it on over to our casters. Boys, is this it? Is this the last game?
Well, if you remember yesterday, remember when Fourth Rives got their first chicken dinner blank? I think it was, what was it? Game 2? Yeah, well, we're into game 2 of today. Let's see if they can go for the repeat. Looks like they might have some competition on spot, though.
Thing is, right now, is it's not that big of a deal for anyone in that top side of the lobby to go for a hot drop over towards fourth rise, because at worst you lose the hot drop, at best you take one or two players down and you get another game on it. The circle is treacherous down towards the southwest side of the map here, towards Primor's Quarry, and with the plane path being so far over towards the northeast, goodness me, it is a hard rotating for a lot of these teams. Funnily enough though, fourth rise might just be at the start of the queue, right? They're all the way down towards yellows. They can make a quick pass over towards Ferry Pier, wherever they like.
Where do you go on this position then? If you're fourth rise, if I'm putting myself in the mind of fourth rise, I'm looking at the circle, I'm knowing we're going to have a really early position. Is it a North Quarry?
You can play quarry split around the warehouses easily. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible place to play. You don't want to get stuck in too early there, but there is certainly compounds to work with here. You could even try and head over towards the kind of the God compound that sits north of the roads, just the northwest side of Quarry. Also not a terrible place to play, but it looks like TT Project's already heading over there now.
I'm just so preoccupied with what fourth rise are doing in this match. I mean, there is a lot of moving parts in the rest of this tournament as well, of course, with those qualification spots that mean so much on the road to EWC. A lot of teams. I mean, we talked, right, about TT Project, who now up in 8th place, 42 points. 11th place is 36 points. It's still very flexible there for TT Project. They just want to hold on to that. They want to hold that spot. And funnily enough, they are the other team who is right at the front of the queue getting into this next circle.
For some of our decent teams, right, yesterday, match 4 is around about when they hit that 40-point mark. So even that, the likes of Ulf, for the likes of Furia, wouldn't be enough to put them above 92 points. So for these two squads, even 4 really, when you're looking at Ulf, Furia, Go Boom, Aurora 7-2-1, because of this point sponge at the top, you need a massive match. You really need a massive match here. A 20-pointer, and then you need fourth rise to go down. Like I said, I do not see this getting to match 6 without fourth rise just winning off points alone. The only way they lose is via smash ruling.
It's definitely their main threat is from that angle. I was taking a look at some of the point scorings as well in terms of EWC qualification numbers, and at this stage, with RRQ obviously not playing anymore, they got knocked out in a bit of an upset back in their group stage. If BTR get 11th place or higher, it's very likely that there's no way that they can fall down. There's chasers in the game, sure, but Team Flash already ahead of them, Arena already ahead of them. They're very likely also have locked in their spots for EWC. Pandem, kind of counting them out as well, but it is all up to how Boom do. Can they jump up high enough to jump past that boundary?
With the point sponge being in play as well for Boom, they just don't really need to go that much further. At this point in time, you're kind of expecting for Boom being in 5th place, it'd be like a 10 to 15 point margin, if not more, to get towards 3rd. Not only has fourth rise made this look like one of the most dominant performances of all time, they've also made getting into PMWC rather easy.
It's an interesting
for other teams, that is.
It's an interesting one. I mean, yeah, that 3rd place spot for Boom is really what is on their minds right now. In terms of jumping up, that would put them over
Which is
RRQ.
1 point, by the way.
Exactly. Right, it's so close. 1 point is them into 2nd place, right? Potentially, depending on chicken dinner counts and tiebreakers and things like that. But yeah, it's so down to the wire, and these EWC points really start to hit home for Boom. It would be such a huge result for them to jump up that far. And the reason that they don't need to go in towards that position necessarily is because of how BTR is. They're fairly low on the point scorings. There's a 90, well, currently Boom have 0 points in EWC. They're going to be needing to exceed Bigatron, and Bigatron are on 19 points right now.
One of Ulf, our 2nd place team. A chaser of a pretty ridiculous margin right now. Fury and Pandem towards the east and the north of fourth rise, who are playing it a little bit slower this time, playing outside on the edge. Gonna work out what their next move is. really, if they give themselves another southwest shift on this, it's not terrible. They have a lot of space to rotate around, playing quarry. A lot of quarry's not picked up just yet. Like I said, going into quarry a little bit early is not always advised. But if we do get southwest, they have the pick of the litter here.
Four Thrives had the pick of the litter, but they opted to go for Ferry Pier. I say but, maybe shouldn't put that as a prefix. They opted to go for Ferry Pier in this location. It's going to be fairly uncontested. They should be aware of that. They'll be aware that teams will have moved in on the west side of them as well. Seems fairly safe for the time being. The transition north, generally though, can be blocked off quite heavily by quarry, by that location that is going to funnel you around either side, force you into some linear fights with some oversight that you might not be comfortable with.
It all depends on the next circle. Right? 'Cause a lot of teams on the southwest are going to massively benefit from a big southwest shift. There's already a lot of teams making their way in. Boom is trying to make the cross right now. Like I said, from that first game, a lot of way faster rotations all round. I mean, across the board, people are opting not to play on that edge right now. We have had a full flip-flop on how the lobby's been playing from edge playstyle to suddenly this hugely central position. And again, that comes off the back of Four Thrives, just reading into this lobby very well going into that first day and essentially just dominating from the center.
Started to find that center on this one, although it's not super central. It's sort of quite deceptive on a circle like this, right? Because you've got so much water. The center, quote-unquote center of the circle, sits actually a little bit further north than you might expect. It's actually closer towards Gatka than towards Quarry, where the geometric center of this circle is. The center of the playable land sits a lot further north, which is currently where teams like Gaming Stars sit in this zone, as well as Otter and Boom a little bit further north of that.
I mean, for the center of the circle, though, it is around Four Thrives, GameStar, and Quarry. It does come a little bit down towards that southwest side. So we have a lot of the fields of Gaka in play. Pandem going to pick up that compound that sits over towards the eastern side of Quarry. GameStar playing on those warehouses. Four Thrives a little bit further behind now. They do need to move forward on this one, but we know they have the chops on them to actually get the elims, to take those gunfights, to clear our area, to clear our space. It's what's making them such a terrifying team at the moment.
Project on that south side of Quarry. Close by to Four Thrives. It's 2G navigating their way on that farm coastline, moving in through the blue as well. Got a forward position on it. Aurora just about getting across the west side bridge from Sosnovka military base. Uncontested. No one's camping that one. No one's guarding it out. EK may be behind them in the queue though on that angle. Seems like they're going to go for a west bridge rotate as well. Biding their time for the time being. Just going to play it a little bit slower, closer towards the edge of the blue. Fury are further inland. And again, one of those teams just desperate to get as high up those tables as they can because the match could end in a chicken dinner for Four Thrives and our tournament could end with it. You have to make every single match count.
Any moment. I think that is the key phrase here. Any moment this tournament can end, and with 1 point splitting up the entirety of second place down to basically sixth. Yeah, well, seventh even. It's 2 point splitting second down towards seventh. You can change the state of the podium massively. Just one match.
In a decent second place finish, right? And anywhere from basically 9th place could be in second place at the end of this game.
Yeah.
So volatile. Guaranteed to have had at least 8 matches played. On the south side, Four Thrives are on a 2-2 split. I will say, I don't think they're in the best place in this game. It might be a tricky one for them to win here. Obviously, never out of the realms of possibility, but given the lay of the circle, Ori being such a main for the west side, I think this might not be the one to do.
But we just haven't really seen them have a bad game, honestly. Outside of that Ronda, everything else has been like fairly decent. Even the games where they weren't getting the chicken dinners, but just up towards that top 6, still good games. No real blunders either. I think that's one of my favorite things about watching Four Thrives this tournament is that there's never been a moment when I've looked at them and thought to myself, that was a huge mistake. It's always felt like, well, that was a tough fight for them to go into, and they lost it rightfully.
Double the scoreline a second. Four Thrives. Taking everything that was thrown at them and more. It's straight back at the rest of this lobby. We were caught lacking yesterday. It felt like Rondo was maybe a little bit more palatable in terms of the overall lobby performance. So we're heading up towards the north side. Maybe this area will be another much more solid overall performance than the rest of our rosters too, because they are trying to make their moves now, and boom. Ooh, they've lost 2 to Nox here. Should be Reservoir, but there's a bit of pressure coming through from Aura. They're trying to play this one close. No Fear has been knocked, and Octa wants to keep this one under control.
Ulf now making their way over. They hear the shots. They hear and see the knocks coming through. Sky will find the number, but Boom is down so quickly. And for Ulf, this is upsetting for them because they were looking to make the move on this one. Sky is knocked, though. That's a good first knock. A very, very good first knock coming through from Eren. They could play off the back of that and maintain one of the stronger positions in the circle. Fourth Rise, how? How have they done that? They move through Quarry. They get towards the ridge side on the top. I don't get it.
Where do they even go? How have they done this? Max is shouting, they teleported there somehow. Nobody knows how, but they are there. And that is quite incredible. Ulf are taking the fight and winning it with honor, by the way. They were able to leverage that opener nicely over on the northeast side of it. And honor are falling. They are falling pretty quickly. A 2-2 split in the center of the circle. And Fourth Rise, goodness me, like smoke move through outstretched hands that everyone else is trying to clamber, to grab them, to bring them back to mortal levels, but it's just not happening.
I do not understand it. I cannot comprehend it. For Fourth Thrives, it is just magic right now. And we are not seeing behind the scenes. Some incredible calls from this squad. No longer doubting themselves as they did maybe in the past of this tournament. They are just clear-cut comms, and it seems to be working insanely well. Also, the goal to pull off a 2-2 split after that happens, these guys just have absolutely no qualms with taking it to the rest of the lobby at the moment.
This is straight aura farming right now from Fourth Rise. They are absolutely, if you'll forgive my Gen Z parlance here, Blank, they are hogging the lobby. It is really quite impressive what they've been able to pull off here. Furia, I mean, they've been pretty powerful too, right? And if you just forget about Fourth Rise for a second, this is an incredibly close tournament because everybody else is so neck and neck, and they are giving it a good go. Chief wants to step in for the fight as well. Goat Team, one of their most local challengers on the tables, are looking to try and put pressure on. But Fourth Rise have a challenge. It's Aurora who tried to move in from military. Up in into the fight. And Cypher with the winner. And Aurora fall. Balak needs to get back to his feet now. They drop the smoke. They rally around it. And all of them are alive. Aurora cannot do it.
There is no one close by either to this. Fourth Thrives, just an easy pickup. Pandem finally making a move. The circle moves down towards where Fourth Thrives are playing. Pandem needs to act fast here, but they are slow on this push-up. Fourth Thrives are getting the reset in the meantime.
Goodness me. Nade over the top. T24 wants to get picked up. There's a little assist
not again.
from TT Project. They want to lock in their position on the tables as well. And with Pandem going down early, S2T will won. And in they go. And Cypher will fall. There are casualties. Thick and fast. Fourth Thrives are falling. Balak now on the backlines is the last player to stand up against it. The nades need to be big. 3 players from S2G and 2 of them roll forwards. Fourth Thrives fall. It is not Smash. Not now. Maybe next time. But they are denied.
John, Fourth Thrives. It took 4 bloody teams to take them down.
One team for Thrive.
Has to happen here. Finally. They're showing a little bit of what this lobby can do, but that's not before blasting Aurora out of this match. Just incredible stuff all round. GameStar will find shots over towards Ulf. Eren goes down. This is the team that was chasing. And they are losing players by the second as they attempted to go for a central push on this one. Cage is going to send over towards Scarface. See if he can pick him up.
Ulf wanting to try and maintain the central position now.
They will have seen that Fourth Thrives has gone down. You can breathe a little clearer now as well.
I mean, remember the Smash boundary too, Blank. That 92 points, whilst maybe not achievable here, is something that they will set their sights on. With this game, they can push for it. Furia with the player numbers here, but Ulf with 3 in a much better position could potentially look to try and jump up and join them in that match point.
I mean, for Ulf, this is the first time in quite a while that I've seen a decisive push like this. There was one yesterday over on Erangel when they headed over towards Middle Island. A very good push from them, but I think they need more of that. And look, yes, they lose a player on the entry, but they realize that they've got to take risks right now. If they want a chance of getting towards that 92 points, they have to make some moves in the lobby. Pandem moving their way up in the similar fashion as Ulf immediately looks to rebolster that location of the map.
Solidify. Sail off there, moving out towards the west edge. Again, remember those moving parts of those EWC qualification spots going into this one. Would very much like to put themselves closer. They go all the way out west and actually send Solus into this compound here with Norman from E-Arena. An interesting decision to go for this one, I think it's safe to say. And now the backups here for E-Arena. Ulf maybe overcommit Solus onto this location.
Yeah, it's a curious spot that Ulf sends towards. Understand this is a priority compound, but Schweb saying now Solus, I don't know what he was doing out there in the first place. They had central zone. But why?
Very odd feeling there from Ulf. That's going to severely hamper their chances of jumping up towards that
It will.
boundary. Fury are on the south side. They're kind of penned in, and they have to move. Imagine if they were 3 players for Ulf on a circle like this.
It would have been a great game. It really would have been a great game. Getting yourself a high elim chicken dinner as 2 players, very difficult. Getting a chicken dinner as 2 players, that's a different story. But I do think it looks unlikely in a global lobby like this. Flash losing players to BTR. Currently down at 15 for 29 points. A big nade goes through the back. There's a fair chunk of damage towards them. Wards them off away from the flash.
Oh, but there's a heavy hit dealt back towards them. Bozy finds Federalis, and there's a rundown. They're trading back and forth, and BTR seemingly in charge of this fight right now. Zias cannot get towards Bozy. Axel with the split off. Razy and Razak with nades. Looking to be primed here. Pulled out towards Team Flash on the off angle. Gaming Stars at 71 clashing in the meantime on our picture-in-picture, but this north side yet to conclude a long-range position for Team Flash, and they are playing as 2.
BTR currently sending out. It's a very obvious position coming through from the guys over on Flash usually, but BTR is going to opt to get further in towards the circle here. E-Arena currently playing off on that southwest side, have a good chance on this game too. S2G currently isolating sightlines over towards the northeast side. Kamikaze opens up towards Maniac.
Opportunity for Furia to try and punch through the defense on the south side, and TT Project aren't going to slow them down on the first. Maybe look for Ayala and Chief on the second as Effect moves forwards, trying to scout this one out. Ephius is there. Pandem could try and slam into it, but they're closer to the center. You've got to think they don't really want to get too stuck in. Furia going over their way. Chief back down the hill. Back behind the tree. Furia losing 1. And the momentum for the chasing teams here, Blank, is really being curtailed. This is great news for our back page, because there is a real chance for them to start to mount the pressure. Silence now the last to stand for Furia, and I don't imagine that he's going to have a great time getting out of this compound. With the surround the TT Project have, with DK on the west, with Pandem on the north side, I don't think there's an opening for him. And Furia may fall short here.
Right, Furia down to 1 player. All our chasing teams getting nowhere closer to the top here. It's looking more and more solid for 4th Rise as time goes on. They may have just done enough already.
The roll downs. Team Flash go down, and BTR stay up as 4 on the northern side. Fairly alone right now, and everyone on the south has much more difficult time to go for. S2G are trying to navigate the east edge in the meantime, and Silence isn't done just yet. Now he is. Zerich puts him back.
Cross from GK over towards Pandem. Playing. up around this valley at the moment. Trying to make it work as best as they can. EK will send Kevin as a forward scout for the squad. Oof, it's close. It's close from Neos. But we'll just pick up the hovercraft. Try and get it forward here.
Up towards, sorry, the flush coming through over onto okay. Adding to the tally. Wouldn't it be so great if Wolf had 3 players? Anyway, E-Arena have 4 players on the west side on a pretty mega compound for a circle shift like this. It's going to play quite well for them.
It's an indecision, right? I think for Kedge, as well as Aaron, maybe if they back Solos upon that one, they would have a better position on this one. But how can you know it's going to be a hard southwest shift? S2G make the play-in over towards E-Arena, trying to do what Solos failed to do before.
Playing up into the ridge, GK yet to really step forwards towards this position, but I think as soon as they do, S2G, they just a bit off more than they can choose. Tony K has the off angle there as well, but Hamzy has his number. Tony K goes down, a lovely little spray down at range. Nades now pouring out towards the backline as Hamzy goes down. E-Arena are handling their business right now though, Blank, and this west side seems a little bit more difficult to navigate than perhaps S2G realized.
And for S2G, it's a good call from them, but a weak assault over towards E-Arena. Obviously coming in from very far away, so the smokes were popped late on this one to deny the sightlines. I think they've done a decent job of trying to set up this engagement. But now E-Arena has all players back up again. Lost takes a really, really big, hefty amount of damage. And with GK having sights on, this should be easy.
I mean, it's a shooting gallery. S2G just can't move into their location. The nades are going to force them out to the open, and Lost gets flushed away. It's only a matter of time, I think, before S2G lose their final player. Kamikaze with the nades. Oh, okay. Goes the other side of the burnt-out vehicle. In the meantime, BTR trying to find their way in on the north side. We've also got that duo from Ulf and TT Project out on that east edge. With 6 elims already, Blank, they're looking to go further than 11th place. They could go much further.
And with just how close the scorings are, we keep saying it, but anyone could be anywhere on this table. As GK makes their way up towards 37 points, I think the Pandem's the only team that's really struggling to remove themselves from that 16th place right now. Need a shovel and a pickaxe to do that.
Oh, okay. TT Project find Pandem looking for a little bit more as well. There is some traded damage, and TT Project are on the ropes. GK are trying to roll on in, but that is Pandem going down. 8 eliminations now. TT Project up and at least into 2nd place with the placements guaranteed from the 6th place finish. They will be jumping up to be fairly neck and neck with Furia, and maybe a little bit further over that as well. Nades over the top, and TT Project are piecing themselves back together. GK stall their engines on the roller.
Wolf in trouble, BTR looking for revenge, and Nate goes up, but it's not the knock, it's not the flush, and we are in deja vu. It's Aaron versus BTR, but this time he cannot stand tall versus the Indonesian squad.
They find the full knockout, and our 2nd place is locked in at 56. Blank. The angle of this points table is just so flat. It is absolutely incredible stuff. EK are going to be into this one late. BTR could potentially jump up into the 40-point bracket with this match. I think TT Project is the only team that, if they win, could keep things a little bit more sloped. But on the east side, they're cut out of this next circle.
BTR going to make this work. It's tough ground to play off the back of, and Neos with some fantastic shots. He has been a real blessing to this squad so far. And Effect finally finding some of that insane fragging power that we maybe lost from him in the past.
They're going in. They're going to look for the crash. Over towards BTR. They know they soften them up. Racy needs to pull one out. Does so. But the forward pin cannot find it. Sticks it on the back line. And that is TT Project down. They jump up the tables a little bit, but now the back page has a battle on their hands. Who's going to jump up and be neck and neck with literally everybody else?
2 T's, sad crying face there coming through from Project. 4 teams left alive. S2G. E-Arena currently on 45 points. A team that could jump up towards 2nd place on this game. Got a dominant hold over towards this compound for the longest time now.
E-Arena have not let it slip. GK are going to go for the descent, though. Kamikaze could be in the way as well. They'll clear it out very, very quickly. S2G not providing any more boundary. No more buffer for them. 3 players already in. 4 players now for GK. They fully regroup. BTR willing to let this happen. And they are, to be fair, not in a terrible spot. The shack that they have, they can start to move out. With GK gone from that high ground position, they can start to extend a lot more effectively.
For Irina, I was just about to bring this up, but the amount of teams that they've had to rebuff from this spot means that utility is low. GK on their hand, 15 nades, the 2 from the Arena. All they have to do right now is weather the storm.
Arena 5 eliminations. BTR with 7. EK with 4. Anyone with a chicken dinner would push themselves up towards that 40, 50 point boundary. BTR the furthest from it. This is exactly what I wanted from BTR with GK off of that high ground. They have spread out flank. They have put a wall against this fight, and this circle helps them out with that pursuit.
BTR moving forward, seeking no trepidation in these final moments of the match. Looking to take control! Out of the 2 nades that they have left, one is a double, and they open up strongly over towards GK. They may have no more explosives left in hand, but they can get the job done with just the weaponry.
Joker goes down though for Arena. Can BTR pull one out the back? No, they're getting flexed off by GK as well. Crazy keeps them alive. On the outside, Arena cannot go through. That is GK down. BTR need to pull this rest back fast. They need to get this healing done. Arena are on 3, and Razy's hiding in the grass. The ghillie suit's there. Spots one on the roll around. Needs to keep his team safe. Foreman steps out, and there's the knock. But there's no teammates left.
We're back to back here from the bushes in the ghillie. BTR looking to do it again on the main stage.
Another nade over the top, and Razy goes low, goes lower. 6 first aids in pocket, but there's another nade. Razak falls, and the last nade from the Arena will be able to close it down. BTR gave them a good challenge there, but it was the compound on the southwest side that Arena held their nerve, and put themselves in the full lobby tiebreaker that sits beneath 4 Thrives.
Ryzen's reincarnation, Razy, not quite able to do it at the end there. But for E-Arena, what a fantastic game from them. Schweppes tasting a little bit of that glory from the past. A very, very nice match. And E-Arena up to around about 60 points there at the end of this one. But it's still a far cry away from the 92.
This lobby is just so close. If you completely forget about 4 Thrives. Second place, EWC points, money, all of these change at the drop of a hat, at the drop of a pin, maybe. Everybody has got a challenge. Everybody has a goal set in their eyes. For E-Arena, they're 1 step closer, but everybody else, they need to step up to match it. 4 Thrives can take it all home now, and every match counts.
Number 2, it's the White Rabbits to hop away with the chicken dinner in this match.
Yeah, I mean, they started off today in 7th position, 37 points, and because it's so close in the middle of the pack, right, the only lead you have is between 1st and 2nd place. In the middle of the pack, this game is massive for E-Arena, putting Thailand back up there, and actually could be encroaching on the top 5. We could see them make it off the back of that win.
And for the Arena, they didn't really have to do much much throughout this map because they just had they were blessed by the circle and the compound that they were, but good defense out of them. But now we gotta switch it up. One team that really impressed me in this match, and I'm not gonna talk about Four Thrives right now. We'll talk about them later on. But it's actually TT Project. This squad, the way that they were actually pushing, the way that they were being aggressive, you and I were talking about, is this gonna be the stamp that they actually go to PMWC? And honestly, with that performance and the amount of points and how everything's truly playing out, I think that was the stamp. That team's more than likely gonna be going to PMWC.
But for me, that last chicken dinner on Rondo, it opened up the conversation, and I would say this Game 7 closed the conversation. For me, slipping below top 11 with these kind of results is just not happening.
Yeah, TT Project's looking so good, but let's take a look here at the final blow to just listen in on what these players were thinking right at the end.
Go, 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 go. Ready, Lucy. I'm up there. Oh, semua. Satu lagi. Tolong dia. Kena aja yang kiri tuh. Dia ngopang nggak tuh ya? Berapa orang? Dua lagi. Dua orang. Nyetel.
Man, the crowd was going nuts there at the end because Ray Z from BTR was making some plays here, 7.
He really was. And for BTR, once again, continuing on the trend that I expect out of them throughout this whole game, throughout this whole day. Pure aggression, but I gotta take a second to give some props there to Schweppes. I mean, this man has been doing it for quite a minute, still putting up the numbers, even here with a different team of the arena. 5 eliminations.
I mean, I've heard people say since PMWI, Vampire fell off, except for Schweppes.
That's right.
The guy is still in the combo to this day and still doing it, putting up big numbers.
And he's not doing it with Tony K. Now he's doing it with Turney K.
That's right.
Oh, an imposter.
Schweppes is out here gaming, and speaking of gaming, boys, we're going into match number 3 because Four Thrives were taken out. And I think with that match, after they just took out Aurora, I think S2G was like, we got to take this team out now.
Yeah, they just sent it around their position, but it took so many teams.
That's what I was going to say.
Four Thrives, where initially you had the side of Aurora sending it, then you had Pandem. I feel like they felt the aura, and they were like, oh, we're not going to fully commit to it. And then S2G send it, TT Project third partying from a distance. It took 4 squad 7 to eliminate Four Thrives.
It's unbelievable.
I think we're going to be expecting that pretty much throughout the whole day. And if that is going to be happening, it's going to open the door to some of the other squads. It might be, in a way, unlikely that we see Four Thrives get past in regards to those points, but something that our amazing casters, they bring up is that Smash Zone is just 92 points. A team is able to achieve that within the next 4 matches, and then it will come down to, can a team actually take the trophy away from Four Thrives' hand and win it via Smash Roll?
Exactly, and which was the team that made it relatively far in this game? It was Ulf. They made it so far, got some placements, a few eliminations here and there on that Eastern Shed, and you know what? That's going to put them definitely in contention. 5 points is looking good to get closer to the Smash Zone. I would say they don't want to catch up to the points of Four Thrives. The Smash Zone is the goal.
I agree. I think that's the only way that we're going to see another champion here at this point. Four Thrives are just so dang ahead, but that Smash Zone is so dangerous. And the way after I saw that last game, boys, I think we're going to continue to see every single team try to just take this team out no matter what, because it is pretty close as far as for second place on up.
I actually disagree. No one did it here. And you mentioned it, Seven, right before this last game, how their drop location on the Western Bridge is so open. They had a looting stage as a 2-1-1 split. It is one of the weakest early setups you could have. It's easy to breach, and yet no one did it.
Yeah, I don't think as we take a look here at the leaderboards, hot dropping Four Thrives is going to be tough. But if you see them in the elimination feed, maybe you hunt them down. But as you take a look at the leaderboards, look at the rest of the teams here, 7. That is not a huge point grab. Yeah.
TT Project, honestly, I am so impressed by this squad. They started off the day in 14th place. Guess what? They said, we'll make up 10 points in just 2 matches. Well, don't worry about it. They're now up in 4th place. The Vicious, I know you're currently watching this and you're hating it. Oh well, TT Project is currently showing up in E-Arena, putting up those numbers. This is what I'm talking about. Like the points might be crazy if Four Thrives continues to get some points here and there, but somebody can catch up in regards to just achieving that smash zone.
Our top 5 could be completely different by the end of today, except for first place, because of course. But otherwise, the 4 slots are completely open for the taking. The massive jump up E-Arena again. To reiterate my point, we're in 7th position, now in 2nd place over Ulf. It's just to see can they maintain that position until the end, because now with the smash rolling into effect, this tournament is just a ticking time bomb. When PUBG sent it is a C4, you never know when it's going to detonate.
That's right. As you look at E-Arena, they are 30 points away from the smash zone. Going into this next game here, Max, do you think E-Arena try to hunt down those 30 points off the rip, or do you think they just try to put some points on the board and get it done a little later on?
Same Rondo. Yeah. There's no recall. I would say if you have an opportunity to get 3 eliminations, send it. If you see a team doing a clear mistake, capitalize on that mistake to create a bit of an advantage for yourself. But committing from the get-go, hot dropping a team, I feel like, especially with the point gap being so close as we mentioned, that's a massive risk that's just not worth it at this point.
None of these teams, unless you're maybe one of the bottom teams, are going to end up going for some type of hot drop. And to be honest, even early in the match too, I don't think any team is going to try to chase or hunt down Four Thrives. That is not a priority anymore. What we will continue to see throughout the day is what we saw perfectly in this last match. If you do see Four Thrives engaging, if you do see them in the elimination feed, if you even have a slight chance, a slight hope that that might be Four Thrives, teams are going to capitalize on that.
I mean, if you can catch them, you and me, Seven, we turned our back for a second away from the screen. We turned back, they literally teleported in the center of the circle. How did they get there? They just...
Teleportation jutsu.
Yeah.
Making the moves really quickly here. As we take a look here at the top 4 teams. Hey, BTR making some moves. I love to see it here in their hometown. The crowd's so pumped up for them. They are trying to definitely put on a show here.
Especially Razy. They send 3 players into the shed. TT Project tried to go for the push, but the off angle really of Razy saves the day for them to get that silver medal in that match on the Wrangle. Without Razy, that game falls apart and BTR just don't begin that ascent in the rankings.
For BTR, I love the extra aggressiveness. Even with those 3 players, they just full spread out. Whenever E-Arena and GK were engaging, they were about to maybe overextend and push too early, and they realized that. They decided to back off, and it worked out wonders for that team.
Worked out wonders as we go into this wonderful match number 3 again. We got one team in the smash zone. It is Four Thrives. That is the squad everybody needs to hunt down, because if they win this one here, this tournament's over.
Yeah, exactly. Ticking time bomb. This is what's happening at PMGO Season 1 here in Jakarta, Indonesia. And it's plain. They can easily reach the Western Bridge. But boom, maybe he can do something similar to what they did to top on that Rondo.
And you got to be careful with some of the other teams that might be going to military base. At some point, please, Aurora, make something happen. Especially because Four Thrives just eliminated you in that game. In that last game. You want to get some revenge?
It wasn't even a fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really
and you missed the entire skirmish.
You got to be able to make plays when you can. As we get into this match here, let's see if another team from the mid-pack is going to rocket launch themselves on the leaderboards. As we take it on over to John Allen and Blake. Boys, what do you think is the next team to do it?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I mean, we have had some pretty close calls from 2 of our Indo teams so far. Boom getting very deep in towards that first map on Rondo. Obviously, BTR just getting pipped to the post in that second. So that means it's definitely time for Team Panda. Let's go!
It's time for Panda to rise. Finally, I mean, they've been gaining momentum, but Aurora looking to drop on top of Four Thrives here. They're directly down towards the south side of the map.
I mean, Aurora normally go to that military base, right? And with the plane path as it is, 5 eliminators, I mean, 3 of them being at Four Thrives. We also had Sky from Horror being that 5th place.
STG making their run out over towards Farm/Milter. Fury still playing dangerously close over towards Four Thrives, and Four Thrives will split in 2 here to allow Aurora to pass. It might come to blows later on, though, potentially. You never know. But E-Arena now securely in 2nd place with a 6-point lead over Ulf, who are far on the eastern side of this one. Again, it's another decent circle for Four Thrives. Heads over towards that western edge of the map, and again, they can make a very similar rotation to last game. I know that it's probably free.
Real big chance of that. Circle. A lot more north leaning though, so it does give areas like Everest, like Hospital, some credence, right? So for Arena, they can be playing sort of area. Rotating in from the north side also going to be a little bit easier for teams like BTR, for teams like GOAT Team, who are all the way out in Kameshki and Stalba right now. So a lot more opportunity for them to get in a bit safer, I think it's safe to say, than that last match. Certainly with less competition. But the center of this map is quite full, with Aura, Gaming Stars, and Boom all taking positions around Boatyard, School, and Roshok.
Like you say, over towards this area. Decent rotational path for them. Boom might need to wait a while before they make that rotate. Yeah, a lot of teams yet to hit this circle right now. A lot of teams stretch on their drops here to try and get a better location to play, but that has delayed quite a lot of teams. Go significantly over towards Kameshki right now. They'll need to make a late rotate in and likely pass by BTR, who are going to make a very similar rotation from Saberni.
Yeah, load that information quickly though. It's really, really important, especially at this sort of level, right? Adjusting accurately and quickly is such a difficult task. I mean, that's what coaching staff, that's what analyst staff is there for, right? And that is the backbone of any team at this level. How can they bring their team together? How can they impact change? All adjustments, whilst keeping their team feeling confident. Often, it can be quite demoralizing if you go into your intermatch break and your coach is, trying to change this, trying to change that, and it's happening every game. It can be fairly demoralizing. Sometimes, it can be a better option just to say, you know what? Go again. You guys are really good at this game. I believe in you.
Yeah, well, I mean, for a lot of teams, it is just getting that point of just run it back at this point in time. Eventually, from what past data suggests, it should work at some point. Furia still making their way over towards farm. A significant slowdown from this squad. Hesitant on some of their pushes. There's a squad that has that incredible aggression available to them, but right now the rage is suppressed during these matches. Horror rotating on a very, very close angle to Boom. But no fear getting ahead here. Might just be able to set up the barricade for Boom.
But you do run the risk, of course, of getting cut off from the rest of your team, and it looks like that might be coming through. Boom, if they're snappy with it, if they've got their heads on the swivel, might spot this one, as well as Team Flash on the north side and Gaming Stars on the west side of this. Potential to really isolate No Fear in this location for Aura, but he's on the move and will be able to move nice and quickly. Looks like Sanju's not quite on the spin. Sleepy is able to give him the 360. Rolling over. And makes him do a trick. Boom not able to get the point.
Yeah, some instant backup there coming through. Over towards Boom. They know they need to do so much here. And they know they're so close at that 50-point margin towards the top side of the lobby. Been a long, long time since we've had 7 points between the likes of 10th place to 3rd.
I mean, at this point with a chicken dinner, everyone from... even realistically, 14th with Aura, with a chicken dinner, could be in 2nd place at the end of this game. It could be literally everybody in this lobby, except for maybe Padam and Flash. But it could be almost literally everybody in this lobby that could be in 2nd place at the end of this one. There's only 3 teams, as I said before, Pandem and Team Flash, that wouldn't end up in 2nd place at the end of this game. And that's Pandem, Team Flash, and 4th Rise. Because, of course, they're just far ahead. It's absolutely brutal. This late in the day, this late in this tournament, to have such a volatile standing. We talk so much about how having 6 games in a day could be difficult, and it might be made. But we guarantee a 4th here if Falak goes down. Who's that getting spotted them out? I think, is it TT Projects on the north side?
Yeah, it's from the gold compound. They currently have a nice little angle over towards Falak. Really good eyes on coming through from Effect. Knock him inside of the hovercraft and get gone. A good vehicle to keep your player up. But FPS moves up, puts a bunch of damage in. TT Project, they will have seen who dropped down the elimination feed there and might be a little bit hungrier for this one, because remember, TT Project trying to push themselves as far up as possible.
One step too far forwards, because that'll happen. Ephius goes down. Cypher keeping them safe, and Anchor on that southwest side. This fight is very isolated. The circle goes back to where we were before. Blank goes a lot further south, helps out 4 tribes on the southwest side. If they can get themselves back together and back off TT Project, they could line the north side of Quarry. They don't need to teleport this time.
There's no teams on the south either, so 4 Thrives just have a whole buffet of locations to work with. Begin to move out through Swamp. The rest of the squads are sending inwards now. Ulf trying to play on the eastern side. Another team looking fairly good so far, but they're rotating in with Aura. Aaron looks for a spray on the drive-by. Quite find it there, but does back them off at least. But they need to be quick on this next rotate. Figure out where they're going to play next.
It is not easy as well, with the west shift followed by that south hard shift towards Quarry. Teams are going to start to be moving very, very quickly, and you're going to have a lot of traffic in the way. 7-2-1. They did very well yesterday, but Blank today, not been their day. Certainly not in the same fashion. And the nades pouring in from Furia. They're going to make their day a little bit worse. Another one over the top. And it will find the second knock. 7-2-1 now, playing as 2 players. Aliku could potentially crawl back in, and this is potentially resible, but there are too many teams around the area to feel that that's entirely safe. Handem are starting to crest over inside. Ulf are just on the doorstep too.
We're waiting to strike on this. I mean, for Furia, it would be a good team to take down because they are incredibly close to them on the leaderboards. Aliku tries to make the crawl in. The door is shut behind him. Too little too late. Horror also taking a knock here coming through from Furia. That's over towards that south side playing on top of the hill. So good awareness from Furia here.
Holding their nerve, holding their ground as well, which some would say is more important. In a central location would be a great result for them. The north side of Quarry does indeed get occupied by 4 Thrives, with BTR on their west flank, TT Project up towards the north side as well. They have a little bit of a buffer zone, but I feel like their south is potentially their weaker point, right? Teams who can wrap around, like BTR are currently looking to do, and maybe S2G, that could be where 4 Thrives are weakest.
Aurora moving up over towards Aura right now. Gets the player in the vehicle. The nade just a bit too far. Won't quite pop him out the back, but he is bleeding out fairly quickly. Realizes he needs to get him out. Crawl back round. Ooh, right in the nick of time, but not before. It's Ulf actually coming through. As Jiggle will get knocked next by Furia at distance.
No fear now, the last to stand for Aura, and their performance in the group stages has just not been echoed here in the finals. That's the way this cookie's crumbled. Circle goes, and it's up towards the northwest side here, Blank. So, get a little bit more of those open fields. The swamp on the north edge. And E-Arena, again, in a pretty solid spot for this one.
Yeah, E-Arena may be looking for another good game. Coming off the back of the last one there. For Aurora, Ulf needs to get a move on. For Ulf, I was a bit disappointed there because realistically, as that shift comes through, you know there's a lot of field in play. You know there's not many compounds to work with. Realistically, you need to be in vehicles as the circle descends, right? And I think for Ulf, they were too preoccupied with trying to take shots at teams around them. So now Ulf do need to get a move on, and I think that this is where they struggle the most. When a circle moves away from them, right now on the map, you can't see it, but they are delaying. They take a long time to make any decisions.
We have seen them make some mad dashes successfully previously, so hopefully this will be another repeat of that, but there's so many teams around them. We're on board with Boom, who sit on their northern flank, looking to make a similar approach. They're kind of locked in, though, is the difficulty for Ulf, right? That south side over towards Quarry. I mean, where do you go if you're trying to go that way? I just don't see it happening. So for Ulf, they need to clear pretty much straight forwards or straight to the side in towards Boom. It's really limited in terms of their options.
All Thrives, they do have a Cypher on their northern edge that they can regroup on. Definitely a playable position. I think they would have rather held on to the north side of Quarry, though, because that's a very nice setup where you've got Cypher as the initial stop checkpoint for teams, but then you've also got these high ground position providing him cover fire. And one know how long the rest of Fourth Rise is going to be playing around this spot. Goat's going to wrap round on their southwest side, and Solus will be knocked on a vehicle explosion that's coming through from Furia as he attempts to make a mad dash in towards their location.
Aurora do take shots over towards Furia, though, so the attention will be split somewhat. Potential to get Solus back up if Ulf can sneak through the gaps here. But Aurora have got the high ground over both of these two teams. And Ulf may look to backfill, actually. Aurora's position could potentially be an option there. S2G, they've been wrapping around the south side, but so are Goat team now, trying to wrap in behind them. S2G, I feel like this should be a solid position to hold for him. The Soul Cake's gone down, and Force is out to show S2G just how to handle business. Force hits the deck, and now it's just Hamzy on the off angle, and Goat team able to push S2G aside.
Really clean plays there coming through from Force. Keeping Goat in. Fourth Rise were potentially looking to ride over towards that location, but end up stopping short. The Flash finding shots over towards Boom. They try and make their way off from Radio Tower. Really tough spot to be here for Boom. And the circle comes south. I mean, Fourth Rise have played fantastically well, but I think we have to admit at this point in time, there's been a lot of circles given to them.
Oh, this one, least, no less than the others there. Aurora, potential threat though to their high ground position on the south flank. IQ will be first to face that one. See if they can divert it. They've also got Ulf, who did go for that full wrap and could potentially look to try and embalm them on the angle. But there's a big opener onto Tiol. He will fall and get flushed by her Cypher on the forefront. Ulf, though, yet to step fully into it as Boom take nades from Flash on the screen.
Next one's pretty close. We'll deal a little bit of damage. Yumi's able to just about crawl away. Octa desperately moving back, but this is out in the zone. Flash is looking to finish them off right now. Aurora completely disengaged, leaving now just Ulf to deal with Fourth Rise as they make their move out. Erin will find her Cypher though. That's an initial pick-off. That is their anchor position as well, which is a little bit scary.
Flushed out too. They're going to leave that high ground blank. Fourth Rise dashing to the compound that Irina played in that last match. And it looks like they're going to try and consolidate on that angle. Allow Ulf that high ground that they have just vacated. All things considered, probably a good spot for them. But the loss of her Cypher is a heavy blow.
Flash just desperately trying to clear out this spot as quickly as possible. Sanju will go down to GameStar from that eastern side. But TT Project looking to secure their position up towards the top side of the tables once again. And that is an insane compound to do it from as well, by the way. A very, very strong spot. Hard to aggress upon from the fields on that south side, as well as the vision it gives you around that position too.
Shots from Yummy though, steps up and chows down. Zeus goes to his knees, and the red health bar is all too ominous. Yummy very, very low though. The pickup, the blue zone, it's all too much. And Zeus may just be able to get away with this one. Out of the zone, you need the res, and Gaming Stars will be right on the doorstep to take that knock if you give it to them.
We get ourselves a bit of a bird's eye on this location. You can see for Ulf, it doesn't look pretty. They have this full surround on this one, but where do they play into? Fourth Rise can happily play this spot for quite a while. Aurora looks to peek their nose back in alongside with Fury on that eastern side. But TT Project, with this compound being so central, it is such a good spot to play. Goat will find a shot over towards Ketch. Remember, they're playing a three-man split at the moment, so unlikely the Scarface picks Ketch back up again.
That's going to be really nasty for Ulf. Nice little pickup there for Gaming Stars over towards Team Flash. On the first knock, the second is there as well from Rolex. Zeus will fall down. I don't see Flash getting into this one any deeper. Swash scraping up there with the blue zone, looking for those flushes. Gaming Stars adding to their tally. 4 eliminations now on the north side. They're going to have to push a little bit further south with the circle crunching them in. Win solo now, surviving. But maybe not for much longer, under the pressure from Irina, who have been hiding in this location for quite a while, Blank, despite being in a great spot earlier on.
Yeah, we're just delaying things out again with the way that the circle has gone north, south, and then hard south again. I think for E-Arena, it's been a bit of a tough decision to make on where they want to play is from. And I think for them, it is the best thing to do to hold out on this northern side, try and clear out as much as possible. But the TT Project, how do they lose this game? It will have to be a massive fumble from them.
And I'm eating nades from GK. There's a lot of damage coming through. I think TT Project might have angles on it as well. This south edge is just going to brutalize Pandem down on the roadside. He's rolling around, but Leon's not able to get anything done. Steps forwards and immediately peppered with more and more bullets, but they said they're going full on in, and it's just not going to work out. Leon goes down, gets flushed almost immediately, and GK will hold on this eastern side. They will have to go further west, but they're more than happy to add these points to their tally. Why not?
TT Project also have angles over towards this one. Like I said, it just has the full surround sound system on the angles for every player inside of this lobby. Very difficult to deal with them on this. Scarface will find a shot. Somehow, Ulf has managed to get back up to 3. That is a tricky rollout for them. Wow. They have made it happen. 4 Thrives, importantly, will have to move. The circle completely cuts out that compound now. But for a lot of our teams, they are slowly getting up towards that 80-point mark now.
Furia trying to roll on in, will get rid of the last player from Team Flash at the cost of Ayala. I'm thinking, Blank, TT Project is one of the teams that can win this short. I feel like the only outside chance here is BTR on the western side. With the 4 players that they've got, they can be very flexible. They can use those roadsides to potentially cover themselves off from TT Project. Everybody else is playing TT's game. Beat BTR are waiting for this opportunity to play their own.
I get the lineup. 4 Thrives, a little bit of a slow push out from this one. You start to wonder, is the pressure getting to them? Or are they just comfortable knowing that they are so far ahead that they don't need all that much to succeed as Aura sends in? But it's a miss spray. Finally, they find the player, but it looked messy.
Pop on a sliver of HP, will stay alive, pops the first aids there, a resupply on the crate as well, will pick them back up. The southwest side looks good, but BTR might have angles. Maybe not anymore though, because Refus with the refrag onto Razak, and BTR should look for this revive as well. Axel moving down towards the south side to just bolster that position, go for the assist. Meanwhile on the north, the arena potentially getting flexed out on by Gaming Stars as 4 Thrives make their push. This is their chance to take down Ulf. They're at the open field, and IQ goes down first. Catch, will catch him. And now Falak and T24. A 2-point needed to punch all the way through. Going the distance may just be too much for them. They can certainly put more points on the board if they get this done.
Catch spotted, the nade goes long, it's up towards the side, and he's spotted. 4 Thrives falling here for Ulf. They spot them in the elimination feed. And they will force this engagement. They know they have to do it to stay in contention. But in comes Aurora from that northwest edge. And suddenly Ulf's in a tricky position.
They may have slowed 4 Thrives, but Aurora look to mount the summit here. Seven's been looking for their ascension for a long, long time. But with 3 players in their position, I mean, it's possible this game. It's still going to be difficult with the circle.
E24 steps up, long nade over towards Aaron's side, but it bounces awkwardly. Aaron lives on the tiniest portion of HP. Second nade might just do the trick here, but goes short on this one. They have an idea where these lobs are coming from now as he moves up through the field. Ulf should know the 4 Thrives isn't done yet, but they're worried about Aurora on their northwest side.
Well, they should be. E24 crawling forwards, I liked it. I don't imagine there's too many more nades that Ulf either have or wants to use in this location. They're really trapped. They can't afford to be dropping too much. BTR, they've been trying to play on this edge though for a while, and Aurora are going to have their attention diverted. Fury also managed to get up to the roadside a lot earlier on. They've denied themselves a lot of vision, but they've allowed themselves to survive. The same cannot be said for 4 Thrives though, as they go down. No smash yet again. We're going to match 10.
Ulf dashing outside of the circle here. They know that they need supplies. They need pickups over towards fourth right as much as possible. They may even take a little bit of damage from the blue here just to secure that. Irina also suffering over towards the western edge. This is 2 BTR, but luckily Schweppes has a position to play here. But it's all down to Mormon with the AUG and Joker on this off angle.
We're starting to see the top side of this long.
Scarface.
The points pressure. Scarface with a knock.
A double.
Happy to divide and conquer as Ulf careen their way into that Aurora position, but it hasn't popped up on the Elim feed just yet, Blank. I'm surprised the top is held on this long as Ketch is now fully wrapped around them. There they go as Scarface gets that final point added to his tally.
That potentially in play. As both teams go low, this could be a lot of points for Ulf right now. They're on 8 eliminations, but they need to start sweeping these. Get the initial nade over towards Razy. One player still up for BTR.
Still a chance. Federalis could get his teammates back up and in, but all Razak bleeding out in the meantime. Federalis only one chance now and can't line up the arena, who have put themselves back up to 3 players. Ulf could challenge.
Instantaneously, they're going to go for a repeat on this one. TT Project, they've wrapped out of their compound looking over towards this side. They know that they can sweep. They know that
Split now as they've moved Zerich and Effect into position here. Irina are going to really struggle to get over this next ridgeline Blank with Ulf on their beat with this duo from TT Project. The nades, do they connect? Doesn't look like they're going long enough, but that one looks on the money. Mormon super low. Joke out from TT Project.
the map, they've become a problem. Furia, they've been holding on to a lot of nades in this.
And nades from up on high are going to make Furia's life right on top of them, but it just cooks too long. Doesn't go the distance.
Ulf, you can see it looks like they just don't have the stims either. They've been waiting a long while for Geeke to have to push out from this building. They know that these are secured eliminations. That's what they're going to go for. They've got Ketch looking over towards Fury this entire time. Next circle will now push them out. Furia still has... grenades. 7 on the side of Ulf, but only 1 smoke.
Ulf have been putting so much pressure onto this circle. It's been a real blinder of the game from them. The west side is definitely a viable win position as well. EK are hunkered down in a shack on the south side, and they're looking to flex out now. They've moved Easy for Bad Boy out to the open, but it is open field. Only those hay bales to try and keep them safe. And Ulf, much better terrain cover.
This is such a hard control for Ulf as well. They are pulled taut like an elastic band between both engagements. Ketch is doing an incredible job. We haven't seen too much of it right now, but he keeps stepping up and peeking over the roadside, taking shots over towards Fury, consistently keeping them low, forcing them to use meds off the back of this one. It's a long nade, but not quite long enough. But a shot from Envious will...
WC, there's no way that he doesn't deny it. He will fall down.
Ulf's made a very big amount of noise as well, so Geeke would love to stab them in the back.
There's what he's looking for.
15 eliminations, John, at this stage of the game. For Ulf, this could be a massive match. The nades start to pour over the top right now. 4 nades down here for them. Scarface steps up. Great player at long range. Now looks to sling a nade over to try and save this position.
Saw a lot of bodies there. Scarface launches a nade to try and follow them up. 2 nades in hand for Ulf. 3 nades in hand for Furia. Not a lot of smokes, but there's always those launches that could potentially be in the back pocket to obscure those numbers. Cover may be still there. Vehicles on fire, but still will move. And Ayala will hop into the hot seat and navigate it around, moving forwards. There's a crate. This is a beautiful resupply. Look at his armor. Blank, that's a really big pickup if he can get towards it.
Ketch sends a nade over towards Egon. It's on target. We're into a 3v3. Ulf looking for a ginormous game to even the tide versus 4 Thrives.
And a potential here, a 2 versus 3 now. Furia, Ayala and Chief now, the last 2 to stand. They find Scarface. They even the numbers once more. Brazil and Turkey. They've been at war for a while, Blank, over PUBG Mobile over the years. But here we see pitch battle, and it is all up to the man of the hour for Turkey. For Ulf, it's Aaron in a 1v2. Chief in the back line is low. Ayala stepping up to the crate, wants the resupply. And Brazil Bounce them away from the chicken dinner.
And despite everything, Ulf's not able to finish on that one. Fury, though, will get themselves a 10-pointer. But more importantly, two teams that were very close to that boundary. But Ulf, they're happy. They're very happy with the back of that game. A huge amount of eliminations. It's around about a 20-pointer, and they are getting closer.
Goodness me, we've got one more angle to play. If Fourth Rise don't win that, we're going to Miramar. And there are so many teams now who are on the cusp of jumping up with a chicken dinner here. Let me remind you how Furia won their region, Blank. They got back-to-back chicken dinners and won by a smash ruling. Furia know how to do it, and they are on the cusp of it. It might need a triple back-to-back.
It's a good game from Fury, though. I love the control from Ulf. I think that's the most important part of this game. The way they were controlling both the north and the south side. But at the end of the day, it's Furia who suppressed their rage earlier on, but unleashed the beast in the final moments.
With Fourth Rise going out early and second through fifth place up in the late game, we just might have a tournament on our hands here, buddies.
I can't wait to see that overall because a lot of these teams that needed to close the gap to the Smash Zone have done so. Can they do even more to reach the threshold before match 6?
It's a race now. The race is on to become the PMGO Season 1 champion. This finish, insane stuff from every single player on Ulf. They don't want a repeat of PMGC 2025. A second place is just not good enough. And with these points, with those eliminations in particular, man oh man, they might just make it happen on Miramar.
Massive game, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. Just like you mentioned, Seven, if one of these teams wants to take away this tournament via Smash, that means they have to get 92 points by that fifth match. And with that game from Ulf, Furia as well, they're getting mighty close.
And I gotta give props to Ulf too. The way that they were able to kind of play that early on, they leapfrog Fourth Rise. And Fourth Rise on the negative side, I gotta call you out. You were just way too passive exiting that compound. They got way too comfortable in there. They allowed not only Ulf, they allowed Aurora push up, and by that time, man, it was just too much.
Well, let's hear the final blow. And
Levantou. Direita aqui, direita, bem, só aberto. Entrou aberto, esquerda. Zero vida ela. Sai, troca de 10. Vem em direção da ela. Direita.
Oh man, you can hear the intensity in their voice, Max, as we get here to the winner chicken dinner team stats, and Silence leading the charge with 4.
Yeah, no, really good play from Silence. I feel like the DP28 is slowly making a resurgence. So many players, Silence in particular, loves playing with the DP28. One player of TT Project also was using that at the very end inside of God Compound. So that weapon looking really strong alongside the likes of the M4 and the Organ, of course, TS12K. But everyone here doing great. And Ayala, again, putting up big numbers. 3 eliminations for himself.
This is what I've been wanting to see out of Furia for quite a minute, especially after that first game, the first couple of games yesterday as well. Spreading out, it worked out wonders for them and ultimately give them the win.
I'm loving what we're seeing, and it's good to see. Aaron was doing a lot of heavy carrying at the very start. No, the team at step 5 is just not cutting it for them.
It's not the first time Turkey would end up winning a championship in Indonesia.
Yeah, yes.
Especially in Jakarta. So, Fourth Rise, you gotta watch out. These teams are gonna start catching up in regards to reaching that threshold for the Smash Zone.
Oh, Fourth Rise indeed need to be careful here because things are getting dangerous. You got Scarface there getting 5 eliminations as well. And it's so crazy to just see so many teams right below Fourth Rise do so well in this match.
Yeah, that point threshold is going to close between the Smash and those squads. By the way, a bit of a zoo here. You got a wolf, you got a tiger, and a panther, and then the other one you have a rabbit. So a little bit of a mix.
There you go, a lot of animals.
Yeah, but very Western. Looking at the rotations here, of course, TT Project didn't have to really move too much, but playing God Compound, it is called God Compound for a reason.
But the way that they were able to push up on E-Arena, especially early on, the 2-2 split that they had, made sure that they fully eliminated E-Arena. Sometimes you get if you're a team that gets blitzed by the circle like TT Project did, they get too used to it. You'll end up seeing it here at one point where TT just ends up splitting.
Yeah, no, you're going to see actually the way they push onto E-Arena, as you say, they're going to go there, 2-2 split, fully regroup to eliminate E-Arena, and then they instantly pivot right back. Sure, the circle does not favor them, but if they want to keep a hold on God Compound, that is exactly how you do it. So sure, it's not a TT Project chicken dinner, but still a very good attempt on a wrangle.
Ooh, you said earlier, Seven, that you thought Aurora was waving the white flag. Well, Ulf and Furia, they're waving a green one because it's just go, go, go. Especially when we saw that southern shift, right? Four Thrives, everybody popped off because we thought that they were going to be pretty blessed, but they went out and these two teams crushed it.
Instead of a green one, they might be waving that red one because look at those eliminations. Ulf with the 17 elims, Furia with the 11. These squads are starting to perform. TT Project, the biggest surprise for me throughout today. Remember, they started off the day in 14th place. Where are they going to be now in the overall? How close are you going to be to that smash zone and making sure you become available to win via smash? Aurora, sadly, that's my pick for being the champions. It just doesn't look like it's going to be happening.
If they can't play their game from the get-go, they just crumble apart instantly. What a good push from Ulf again, but it wasn't even a fighting chance for them to get re-engaged in that conversation. So Aurora losing all of that steam.
Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Oh! 3 teams with 70 points. 92 is the goal, and they got 2 matches in order to do it.
I think for Ulf, they might be able to do that in the next match. All they would need is just 13 points. If you're looking at Furia, they're going to be looking along the lines of what John was saying. They need a back-to-back win if they want to achieve that smash zone by Game 5. And in E-Arena, it's not far away. TT Project, too. There's so many options here. Just don't forget, for everybody posting online.
Yeah, I was checking out Instagram. Everyone is posting, congratulations, Four Thrives, you're the champions. You don't want to celebrate too soon because right now, all you have to do is to get in the smash zone, which, as you said, Seven, Ulf could make it literally in this following game. And then Miramar is down to the wire to see who will be crowned the champions.
This is in the beginning of PUBG Mobile Esports. It's not back in the day when you could only just end up winning by being the first team in the overall. Now you can win via smash rule. And with this scenario, I know that Four Thrives is going to start feeling that pressure.
Big time. Wolf, you mentioned 13 points away from Smash. I believe you got Furia as well, not that far behind here. This next game is going to be super critical for them, Max.
Yeah, but I do have to say, for all the teams in the middle pack, winning is out of the question, right? Unless you're in the top 5 position where you have a chance. But you can make a jump maybe towards top 3. That is still technically feasible. The win itself is just completely in a different realm. It's just not possible for you to execute whatsoever. So don't give up. Even Boom had a really good start today. And unfortunately, Seven, to be completely honest, they just fully fizzled out and disappeared on a wrangle.
It's really hard to just carry on that type of aggressiveness throughout the day. And I know they're being just pretty much fueled by the audience here, by being at home, by feeling comfortable. But yeah, it's almost near damn impossible to just continue on that aggressiveness.
Yeah, in order to be able to make something like that happen, they'd have to win, I think, every single match here towards the end. And that is a tall task considering how urgent these teams are playing.
They need to pour Full Thrives, really.
Yeah, from yesterday.
If you want to do it, but otherwise, yeah, it's going to start to be a little bit more unrealistic. But a wrangle and then 2 Miramars. And the fact is, it's very scary because, of course, we saw yesterday the wins of Four Thrives were on Wrangle and also on Miramar. So we just don't know. It could end this game. It could not end with a smash ruling and go down to top 12. No clue what's going to happen.
Oh, my goodness. My eyes are going to be locked on these leaderboards every single game as we go on. And, man, Four Thrives, they're already feeling the pressure, right? Because it was crazy. We seemed at the start of the day as though everything was going right. And in that last game, we definitely felt the shift downwards.
You guys want to know something?
What's up? Tell me.
Ulf, one of their wins during their group stage is actually the only win was in Miramar. And right now, with the way things are looking, if for some reason Four Thrives is not able to close it here, Ulf does just enough what they need to do. Ulf could try to challenge for that championship via smash roll on Game 5.
And that was especially when Aaron was the man leading the charge for his team. But now we've seen it when it was S2G in the past 4 years ago, and now it is still another Turkish team in Ulf. That would be such an amazing storyline that they are the kings here.
Just a reminder for everybody posting on social media, jinx it here. Slow it down, bring it down a notch.
Well, guys, let's bring things down a little notch as things are definitely starting to heat up. As we go to a break, we'll be right back in just a minute.
Dark arts, black magic, can handle it, can have it, feel the power, feel the force, we attack, dark arts, black magic, one shot connects, no damage, feel the power, feel the force, we attack it. Feel the power, feel the force, we attack it. Dark arts, black magic, one shot connects, no damage, feel the power, feel the force, we attack Feel the power, feel the force, we attack it.
What a meaningless struggle.
I will still pray for you.
By the stars, this ends now.
Anticipation keeps on going. Every team delivers chicken dinners. Smells delicious. They're going to have a great shot here, but they're going for the wraparound. But all it takes is one good connection. Another nade goes in. Is this going to be good? Is it going to be good? Yes, it is.
drops begin to glow. Flame on and the soul is kid in a high-risk drop, the street food vendor with a victory dream. A midnight warrior looting in the dark. The fuel is passion pushing through the blue. Whiskey on the path of the edge of the gas. A million stories in the same squad. No royal blood, just a drive to our last. The skill, the nerve to on the final gas. Fire in my mind, running through the sky. Flame on and go. Feel the metal drum. A million drops begin to glow. Flame on and go. The soul is in our control. Flame on and go. The soul is in our control. From the dawn to the last one standing. Flame on. Flame on.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2026 PUBG Mobile Global Open Season 1 live here in Jakarta, Indonesia. We've officially reached the halfway point of today. 3 more matches left to go, or maybe, right? And this tournament is over.
Don't know what's gonna happen. Literally, we don't know.
We both have a prediction that it's gonna end on this next match.
Yes.
And there's only one team that could win in this next match. I don't know after that, game 5, game 6, it might be more than just one team. So
Oh, is it the time for 4 tries? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, from
Unaliweka na manao. Weka vile. Weka ulivyofuta. Wifi nimeweka hapo ili pulizie pale. Naomba si mkubwa.
fighting for trophies. They're fighting for EWC Club Championship points, global prestige, and to be at the absolute top of PUBG Mobile esports. With EWC set for August 6th to the 16th, mark your calendars because we're going to Paris.
yes, we are.
Yes.
We're gonna be eating some croissants.
Maybe I'll make some.
Oh,
I'm
you
joking.
heard it.
I can't make
I
any.
want it.
I made some. They were burnt. It was terrible. Go to a proper bakery if you want to be safe. Okay.
You know, you should have just bought them for the bakery and they gave them to us to be, look what I've done. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna
Change
fake
the
it.
box.
Nah, if I'm
Okay.
gonna do it, I'm gonna be like Fourth Rise. I'm gonna do it legit.
Legit, right?
They're having to fight for it too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's gonna continue like that the whole day.
It's crazy because, you know, we're seeing as soon as they come up in the elimination feed, it's just like a magnet goes in that direction to try and shut them down. But you know what? We got some insane news for you guys. That's right. If you haven't checked out the PUBG Mobile social media today, this summer, these legendary crossovers hit the battleground. We have Ferrari, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and
Naruto.
that is right. This is not a Genjutsu. This is real life, okay? But Naruto is coming to PUBG Mobile, Max.
I can't wait to drop some Razengans in the game. 1,000 years of pain. Whoa, that's an
all right.
illegal move. You
Oh,
can't.
man.
That's not in game, I think. Hopefully not.
Oh, man, hey, I'll tell you what, if it is, though, I'm getting it immediately. Well, I'll tell you guys, make sure you guys check out that version 4.5 update. This is a massive collab. I can't wait to check it out.
I'm so excited. We have so many great collabs, but this one gets me just so pumped. And can't wait to see what the skins are going to be.
I know. I wonder if you're gonna be able to just build a Resident. Oh,
That is right. So the Dino Ground will be back. Max, man, what kind of sound does a dinosaur make?
R.
That's good. And hopefully we see...
No edits, please.
Man, and let's put it this way. I got goosebumps, all right? I got scared there.
From my roll?
Yeah, it was strong.
Very scary.
I
know.
felt it here for sure, you know, and we're seeing these teams feel the pressure here, guys. You know what I'm saying? It is still possible we see a team a little bit lower be able to make it to that smash ruling. They would need a win right here in this next game. I go like two places down from them.
Just third place?
Yeah, I would go to 4th and 5th. I think 4th and 5th need a massive win this game to have a chance at reaching that zone.
I thought you were going to be like 10th place.
No. He said I'll go down 2 places. Then he thought about his I will go down even more. Yeah, I think with the way that everything's going on right now, there is a chance in the next 2 matches for even more teams to just get within that smash zone. It's just going to come down to 4 drives. How are they going to be playing this match? That last match, honestly, they played it in a way that you can see is starting to get into their head. They took a little bit too long. Usually that team will rotate out a little bit faster from what we saw earlier in the game, in the day. It's starting, they're having to do adjustments that they might not be used to, and it's not looking good for 4 thrives.
I feel like that last game in particular, or you just commit to the push off the Ulf and you go aggressive to try and claim that position as your own, or you just send it to the
Throwing it back. Well, you know what? From back then, we still have the most incredible casters on the cast right now. Let's go ahead and throw it on over to Chuck.
Just want to get around towards Mansion Way. We do get another Western circle once again. So 4 thrives, round 3 here on Erangel once again. See if they get it done this time. I think Ulf were able to successfully get all the vehicles on this north side. And they realistically don't need a lot because they're not sticking around. They will just be sending through. But they're probably going to be one of the last teams to enter, right? So many teams already on this western side of Erangel anyway, just because of the playing path into this circle. 7-2-1 in a good position. Azati Arena, TT Project split between Quarry as well as Primos. IQ is going to already begin his scout out though, over towards the northern edge.
Something I think that, I mean, the desk was also always talking about those hypotheticals, right? And frankly, this tournament specifically does put the hype in hypothetical because it is quite exciting, right? For TT Project, this was a team that was looking to exceed that 11th place boundary in order to take the spot from the Vicious in terms of qualifying for PMWC, which, by all rights, it looks like they may have done enough to do that right now. They have 65 points in 5th place. 11th place is 46 points. That sits 19 points behind. That's a pretty solid buffer moving forwards into the last 3 games of the day and indeed of their tournament. They have got a good potential on this circle as well. These western circles have been favoured on every map today so far on Erangel.
S2G, 4 players. Ulf, 4 players also, both going towards Milter. Ulf might just make it sooner than them, but they careen off. Okay, goodness me. Both going about 100 kilometers an hour there. They managed to get themselves past, but for Ulf, it's not such a big deal. They already have a looting spot over towards this eastern side anyway. I think they wanted to check over towards... Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, for Ulf, they might have wanted to stretch further over towards that eastern side, but the question is, where are the best vehicle spawns? It's a good adaptation coming through from Ulf to go towards top side. So from Ulf to go towards top side Sosnovka, and I think Aurora sort of lets it happen too, because they see the shoots and they don't go for the north side vehicle. But Aurora, well, for everyone, it sort of changes the pace of the game a lot in the early game, at least where these current points lie, where for Aurora it's not worth it to get stuck into an early engagement, go out early, because this could be the last match. And any points they get extra to get them further up the tables could be monumental, right? That could be a 5th place, a 4th place potentially on this game. So you're going to see a lot less early fighting overall on this Erangel and then on the last 2 Miramars.
Really start to get. Point here. With Irina sat on 71 points, that's 21 points behind the bubble. That would be an 11 elimination chicken dinner. Very, very doable. We have seen less though, but I feel like that would be such a kick in the teeth. Can you imagine if Irina got a 10 elimination chicken dinner on this game? How dismal they would feel. Although they'd feel probably pretty good about being able to get only 1 point to break that in the next match. It would still be pretty annoying. Moving forwards into our Miramars in such a fashion.
Yeah, to break it down, for Furia, they need 18 points, and for Ulf, they're going to need 14, I believe.
13.
13, yeah, 13. Draw level on match point. So for both teams, it's not terrible. Fury is definitely a bit more of a game that they need here. For Ulf, they sort of just need a strong match. They don't need something like a top 2. They can get away with a top 4 with some good eliminations on this game.
Obviously, what they did last match.
Yeah, if they do what they did last match. I mean, that's difficult to replicate, especially from where they're coming from on the circle. But still, they don't have the added benefit that 4th Rise had at the start of the day today, which is where eliminations come thick and fast over on Rondo. They're easy to pick up, generally are out in force. Here on Erangel, you really do have to work for every single elimination. So even if you get top 4, right, 4 points on top of that, 13, yeah, you're asking for another 9 eliminations that game. So no matter what we say here, it is difficult. It is difficult to hit 13 points on a game.
It is always difficult to earn a single point in any of these matches, really. I think it's safe to say, Blank. That cannot be understated. Every team who has made it here, top of the tables to the bottom, has put in one hell of a shift journey to make it here to Jakarta. Finals of the PUBG Mobile Global Open for Season 1. It has been a monumental journey. I mean, even for Panda, right? They have done so much. They have done really very, very well. Despite falling a bit flat on their face here in the finals, I will still sing their praises. A qualifying team here is better than almost every other team in the world.
100%. I mean, they dropped face flat into a puddle coming through to the grand finals, but...
And the puddle has spikes in it.
And the puddle does have spikes in it. It was a nasty trick.
There was a man who sets the puddle on fire after you fall.
Yeah, because it's actually oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for Pandem here. Their Group A, though, was phenomenal. And that was stated to be the group of death for Pandem. I think they play it really well there. And I will consistently say, you have bad tournaments, you have bad grand finals. Alpha 7 is the absolute best analogy you can give for that sense, because that team, in the future, if not now, will definitely find some massive success. Fury coming up behind 4th Thrives right now. Definitely a scary prospect for them as they try and shut themselves further over towards the north side. Getting close towards Geekade. They just have left Gatka. Trying to find this southwest compound on Everest, which is actually a very nice spot, and it's a good read coming through from 4th Thrives. But this really benefits BTR, Aura, as well as the Flash. Alford gonna still enter on the southeast side, though I think that's dangerous personally.
And moving. They're just trying to move fast here, Blank. I mean, the circle goes all the way up north. It doesn't guarantee
No
a
one's on
north side
Everest.
finish, but you're right. Nobody is on Everest. That might be changing fairly soon, though. And Furia, as soon as they spot a knock, a name, anything in that Elim feed, they'll know that this is Fourth Rise. But as of yet, they haven't got that information. And Fourth Rise are going to get north of Everest here. Instead of going up towards the top of it, they're going to get closer to the river. They're going into crates with IQ. Is this just an outpost for them?
I mean, no team's taken any shots at them so far. TT Project's not looked at this, E-Arena's not looked at this, and they're just in, right? This is a good spot to play the Fourth Rise. Good rotation through. The fact no one was playing Everest is somewhat surprising. Good nade down towards Joker. Don't know how he lived that one. Grenade-proof boots on, but no helmet.
Might be able to outsmart the nade, but I've yet to meet a man who can outsmart a bullet. Will get taken down, and the Arena will play on as 3, diminishing their chance of pushing higher on these tables, Blank, and pushing past that match point in this game. With a hard north shift, they've been helped out by the western circles on Erangel in these last 2 matches, but this time around, not so lucky. And now they're in the western part of South George. Not quite jumping in towards those crate areas yet, with TT Project on the south as well, around that hospital area. Their routes out are starting to get a bit few and far between.
Anyone that went crates as well as South George Apartments, though, you are locked in, right? You are trying to hope for a northwest shift on the circle with this one. This could easily head over towards that northeast side, and a Fourth Rise 721 E-Arena, it gets tricky, right? It does get tricky. But if they do get the northwest shift on this one, oh my god, Fourth Rise looks in a really good spot here.
Well, this is the thing. As I said before, right, they should be looking at playing for wins. If you step up towards Everest, you're playing for, second, third place, maybe a couple of elims, a good points game. Getting into crates, if it goes there, is such a good chance of winning. Maybe that's what they're trying to take. On. They don't fear teams because there's nobody else in the match.
Sherehe kubwa ambayo ilikuwa inafanyika kando kidogo ya bahari. Yalikuwa ni mahafali ya 18 kutoka shule hii. Na kutuonyesha sherehe kubwa ambayo ilikuwa inafanyika kando kidogo ya bahari. Yalikuwa ni mahafali ya 18 kutoka shule hii ilipokuwa imeanzishwa. Sasa wanafunzi walikuwa wakiselfie na wakisubiria boti za kuweza kuwatoa katika maeneo haya kuelekea huko majumbani. Sasa wakati wanafunzi wote wanatakiwa kurudi nyumbani siku ya leo kwa kuwa wameshahitimu chuo, lakini kuna wanafunzi wengine wakawa wanasema kwamba tunatakiwa tubakie kidogo hapa shule.
Moving over towards Aura on the box compound. They could easily get shot at here. They're going to try and go underneath the bridge. Not a bad play from them.
I like the underneath the bridge position. We saw them do well from a bridge position before. Fourth Rise are going to crash up as well. This is the only one player, though, for BTR, and he has to be careful, getting shunted all the way back into the drink. The rest of Fourth Rise, they're not going to hang around. Falak, does he stay and try and save IQ, or is he just going to turn tail and get away with 3? They're more concerned, Blank, with their position on the north side. They will give up on IQ and play on as 3 because the rest of BTR look to descend on their position. It is dangerous. It could be deadly. Falak is a little bit of a straggler on this rotate, but he makes it past. Baby makes it to the shack and stays safe for just a moment longer.
Getting toward the shack here is really big news for them. In the meantime, Ulf has opened up. They are very low, though, as Fury gets underneath them alongside. Scarface having to go for the heal. But they do get those 2 elims on board. IQ, the screen goes dark as he does fall asleep on this side of... IQ, the screen goes dark as he does fall asleep on this side of the map. Silence incredibly low here. Might just drown this one out. Furia takes Chief down to extremely low too. And Ulf is looking to put up those points, John.
This is the second time that Furia and Ulf have clashed over a bridge position on Erangel Blank. Yesterday, Ulf were able to do so much and did so well to go all the way. They took that chicken dinner from that man. They won that bridge fight. Furia thought, you know what? We didn't make a decisive enough decision, didn't clear them out earlier on enough. But this
Good
time,
name from Ayala.
they're looking to gain that momentum and keep Ulf trapped under the bridge, if nothing else.
Nado at the top here. Difficult to get it back up again as well. Good spray through the water. Ducks underneath. Trying to get across towards Aaron here. But Ulf's in a tricky spot. Good shots from Solus. Very much needed at this point in time. Nate drops it towards the water. And in fact takes out Silence.
Finds Silence at the last moment. Scarface there. We're going to stand up and will get the flush.
Oh, it's recoverable. It is recoverable.
Ayala for Ulf. There's so many low health bars. It looks like they're not even in the game, Blank, but they are. They're here, and hopefully, well, if you're an Ulf fan, hopefully they can stay, because they are chasing for that match point, and they are not too far off. 9 points to go.
Keep on slugging here. Authorized are spotted on the western edge. Ulf managing to recover. With how low their HPs were, I was very surprised they were able to do that. And 4 eliminations as well to grab. Under the bridge is not found as well, because a lot of teams are going to break themselves upon you as they head over towards this position. A lot of teams are going to start taking casualties, especially with shifts like this one. And they remain in off the back of this.
That is a shift up to the northeast side. 4 Thrives potentially looking to push in towards Team Flash or just go hell for leather across the zone. See what they opt to go for here as Aura still holding the box. Ulf holding that bridge. 4 Thrives are spotted in the sidelines of Aura. Going low, but not going down just yet. Rolling back, and actually Ulf draws some attention. It might allow 4 Thrives to keep this one going, to keep it alive on 3 for just a bit longer. Out in the open, though. I don't think that vehicle's going anywhere anytime soon.
Mark attempting to get out from here, but the sidelines are good from Aura. Really difficult proposition to make here for 4 Thrives. How do they lead? They've got BTR as well as Aurora at their back.
Well, that fight is going on its own right. This western side does need to be paid attention to by all of these teams. Razak's lining them up, though, and Aurora has started to crumble under his sightlines. Sure, Razy has been knocked, but he is recoverable. Ooh, maybe not anymore. Ulf chimes in. Ulf gets the knock on the Falak. And he is a little bit isolated. Gonna find it difficult to get that one back up. I think that might be the flush.
A really good pick off there coming through from Ulf onto an important team. More shots over towards Geek at the moment. Ulf looking to steal those away. It's 4 Thrives to find one of them, but he goes down next. Okay, oh my goodness me, somehow living this one out. E-Arena is scouting this location too. 4 Thrives hanging on by a thread in this game. 111 points, T24 on his belly.
Like Ulf are on 85 points right now. They are 7 points behind the bubble. They are slowly marching their way to give that threat to 4 Thrives, to make them a little bit more nervous than they're probably already feeling. And on their bridge position, they're going to be safe for a little while longer. The teams to their south, the teams to their west could be a massive point-scoring opportunity for them too.
Definitely a difficult position to play though. With Aura as all 4 inside box compound, that is a strong spot to play up against them. So they're just trying to steal as many points as they can from around the map. They know that the 4 eliminations they're able to get right now means the less they have to push on the placements. Nade at the top, it's great from Sam. This guy has been phenomenal with an ace today, by the way. He's pulling pins on things that just have not been seen in the past, but finally will get shut down.
E-Project, BTR, into the fight now. Axel close range, finds effect. The long range Trepius needs to anchor for them. And it's only Federalis. No, hang on a minute. Axel was still alive there. And Federalis will try potentially to get Razak back. This is crawlable. This is doable.
8 eliminations now for Ulf. They are right at the boundary, and another knock comes through. They are doing incredibly good work right now to make the numbers happen. Just 5 points away. T24 will step up though. Gets the Molotov over towards top. Any points are good for T24, because although this might not end in a smash, they might still just win by points alone. So anything they can grab is good news. 9 eliminations for Ulf. They keep it going.
They have 4 more points to grab. Morales steps up for BTR. More damage pouring on over towards TT Project, but this ridgeline may just be too tough to cross. Next circle comes in. It keeps in Aura, but it pushes a lot of the bridge positions for Ulf out, and now they have a massive challenge on their hands. Where do they go?
T24 might just backstab onto BTR, finds the first, and another point is added to their tally. T24, one first aid kit, looks to take shots over towards Axel, and it's good damage.
I don't think you're allowed to do that. T24 falls down. No smash yet again. We're moving to Miramar. We will see the deserts. Guaranteed for 10 eliminations for Ulf. They are on 89. 3 points shy. Placements would do it.
They can work it. For Ulf to get a second double elimination tally game is incredible coming through from this squad. Pandem's trying to make their way across. Ulf picks up another 11 eliminations now. They are so close to the boundary. Just a couple of placements required.
And team just starts
12!
Fierce goes down. They're on 12 blank with 18s.
They're up there!
They're up. They're through. They get another point. And now Ulf join 4 Thrives. The threat has been levied. The targets at the back of 4 Thrives has been realized. And they need to hold their nerve into Miramar. 2 teams will go to the deserts with a chance to take it all home. And 4 Thrives could be toppled.
We started the day in a 43-point difference on the match point for Ulf towards 4 Thrives. They dropped that difference down to 20.
A chance to not only take it on a smash, but take it on pure, raw point-scoring ability as well. Ulf, they do still have more left in the tank, and they can keep closing this gap, Blank. The closer they get, the more the 4 Thrives will sweat.
They over the top here. Flash. A little bit of damage over towards E-Arena. How does Ulf exit this position, though? I think, honestly, they've done enough this game. They know they've got themselves the match point. They can comfortably bow this one out.
But you go as far as you can, right? And aid over onto Ayala, takes Fury, their closest competitor out of the running. You just want as much as you can get here. They are 4 players alive. Alright, they do have 4 players, but they are locked into this compound now. Potential to move along the riverbank here for Ulf. They can shimmy along this one and get everybody back to their feet yet again. As 4 players, they've got a lot of runway.
The really big issue right now for Ulf, though, is supplies. Where do they get that resupply from? I can imagine these guys are so low on meds, so low on utility. It's going to be bandages, anything they can use here to get their HP counts back up again. They got a little resupply from the guys on Furia, but 15 eliminations. This is an unbelievable step up from Ulf right in the closing hours of PMGO.
Ulf moving up towards the other compound. We know that they're over that boundary. They should know too. But both teams have to leave. It's not worth pushing this compound at this stage, I don't think, Blank. It may be a better idea to look along this coastline, to navigate through, potentially try and get a back foot underneath Goat Team. If you could sweep through Game Stars, get rid of the rest of Boom. It might be a better approach. They might just want to try and blast Honor out of the way, though. Style points, if nothing else.
Well, they sort of have to get rid of this team. They're always going to be a threat to them, and this is an isolated fight for them too. Good smokes to get the run-up over towards here. This team is feeling hot, but it's a nice Molotov that comes through from Aura. Another nade, they get around the side. It's a big explosion. Now just down to 2 players.
Scarface and Souls on the back lines. There is an answer. There's a nade into the window. No Fear trying to get those flushes. They do confirm it. A second knock comes through. That's from Boom out to the east side. So it is now a 2-2. Ulf has a little bit more. And now No Fear's the last alive. Scarface has 2 nades. Looking for these flushes. More points to add to the tally. And Ulf aren't done yet. Solus hops in. A little bit too overexposed. But Boom
nade from
still
Scarface.
have the angle. Nade in from Scarface. He's spotted. And the bounce isn't there.
Just trying to look for some more eliminations right now for Ulf. Anything extra this and Scarface can get here is fantastic. Up to 95 here, not counting placements.
guaranteed at least 2 placements. 97 is the minimum. As we see, they will go low. They will go down on that southwest side, leaving Scarface alone. Horror with one player as well. Boomer flexed all the way out to that west side as Horror do fall to a third party from Team Flash, who
kazi kwa tunatakiwa kuchanga nguo zetu na tutengeneze kitu kama mwamvuli ambao utatusaidia kuisukuma huu mtumbwi wetu. Sasa unajua tena watoto wa chuo kila
this is where they found their feet in the survival stage. This exact sort of scenario, playing this harrying, hampering force on the edges.
But Flash have been slow before. Will they be slow again? Boom, looking to push further and further up the tables. You called them out earlier this match, John. And they look to be playing well.
Hoping to push far as they can go. They need to get a lot of points on board, get high up in those rankings in order to secure a place at PMWC. That is what is on their minds right now. Grabbing those points. With BTR in 12th place, it's unlikely that they're going to be able to surpass them. So they're going to look towards RRQ, and to surpass RRQ on those PMWC points that RRQ have already earned, they need a 3rd place in this tournament.
It's a big jump up required for them with how well Fury is currently doing as well. But on this game, 6 eliminations, there's plenty more points to be had here. In an open ground finish, Flash currently get to the circle. They have a rich line to play around with. Goat moves up. They look to remove Boom off this corner.
Aid supplies looking pretty even across these 2 teams. Team Flash with a little bit of an advantage as well as 20 smokes. They could get stuck in though. We know they love the 3rd party, but Force wins the challenge against Yummy. It's very, very close, but it is no cigar. Moxie now with an aid cooking. Tries to find the forward position, but it splits the difference. Again, huge damage coming on in, and Goat Team even the numbers. Octa rolls out wildly with the buggy. Will the finder go hops out? The spray down is huge, and Goat Team are gone.
Incredibly low HP. Octa holds strong right to the end. Dips back out into the blue to grab the buggy after a quick first aid kit. But where is Flash?
They are not engaged in this fight. They're playing as 4, but they were really reluctant to get stuck in. They should have this under control. Team Boom trying to move through the middle and actually doing pretty well to get around the side of this. And Team Flash just giving them sells the slip. El Perro on the back lines though, and it may just be a little bit too much. Posey is spotted, and Octa's still going.
Octa looking for a little bit more, dissecting like a doctor in this game. El Barrel, one of the most clutch players we've seen on this squad, now playing off the backside of a great year, but spotted by Sears.
Will very unlikely be able to get out from behind this one with the blue zone closing. He's got to find a big thing. El Daryl does put some damage down range, but the reses have come through now for Team Flash, and they will close it down. A magnificent performance in the final moments from Boom, but Flash take it away from them.
The real story of this game, though, is Ulf now on match point, chasing down the lobby leaders of Fourth Rise when they look so safe today. We talked about how the points gap was incredibly large. That points gap just got squished.
It is next to nothing when you consider the points that these teams have been earning over these matches. A 13-point difference at the top of the tables. That is not enough to feel safe from a points victory, let alone a smash victory. They are far and away the only 2 teams who can smash this one low now. I think at this stage, okay, sure, it's possible. It's possible. It's just very, very unlikely.
But this is promising, though. And we always talk about the human element in this game. You see Ulf, they look happy, right? The same cannot be said for Fourth Rise when you come off games like that. Ulf is gaining momentum here. Fourth Rise need to get it back.
And we know that Fourth Rise are a momentum-based team, according to their own reports anyway. They will not be able to smash this time around. Ulf will challenge them in the next. But Team Flash take a chicken dinner to push themselves up the tables.
Yeah. Gotta aim for the top like. Hold up. You can be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, 'cause I know I'm in my element. Yeah, I'm in my element. Yeah, I'm in my element. Yeah, keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element.
sickest team bits that we see there from Team Flash. And hey, shout out to them for getting the win. We were this close, though, to getting our first Indonesian win, Max, but it just came short.
Could have been it for Team Boom, but unfortunately, no. Flash had a different idea in mind, and they were in 15th positions. You know, any extra ranking at this point is going to give you extra money on the board for Team Flash. But now we do have to talk here. Reaching the smash zone.
I was about to say, who cares about Team Flash? Let's talk about Ulf, because boy, if Fourth Rise felt the pressure before, it just intensified times 1,000. Because now there's another team that can win it in. Something that you were pointing out to me. It's not just via Smash.
Yeah, actually, the point gap, I'm really intrigued to see what the leaderboards are going to look like, but the point gap is actually getting so slimmer every single game, they could technically win without the Smash ruling taking effect. Ulf could make the unthinkable happen on day 2.
I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. That gap was so large. I didn't think anybody was going to... I know. And then just like that, Ulf caught him.
Sit down right away. I'm taking it home, looking so good, but every single player is going to be actually looking at the players of Flash. So just doing really well. So again, respect to them, but there is the biggest storyline happening here. Ulf versus Fourth Rise. It's going down.
Congratulations, Team Flash.
Anyway,
for Ulf, something that they were able to fix here, and something that you've been really harping them on, is them losing players. This was one of their best performances. Even though Ulf didn't end up winning, they were able to always recover the down players and make sure most of them stayed alive.
I think all 4 players at one point combined were below 50 HP.
Yep.
And they got the full reset against Furia below the bridge. And actually, those crates gave them a lot of ammo to work with. So everyone doing so well. And the savior was Scarface Dad. At the end of Scarface, able to get himself the MVP of the game. And they could have almost got the win onto Hora if Solis didn't get too aggro at that moment. But I can't be too critical because this is literally the game that gives hope back in the hands of Ulf.
I actually thought it was a good push there from Ulf, but it was a much better defense from Aura because they ended up throwing Molotovs to the smokes of Ulf, and they obviously can't see that. They were just running into it and it just backfired, and then we saw what happened with the grenade there. But overall, this is what we wanted to see. A squad being able to step up, and boy, do we have one now, and we have one with a lot of experience too. They have been to global events before. It's not just like it's a new squad, it's a new blood. No, they have the maturity to probably take this away from Fourth Rise.
They won their local tournament. They got second place at PMGC 2025 in Thailand for the grand finals. This is a team that has that driving force behind them to make the unthinkable happen, and they're doing it today. It's just been so exciting. The improvement on all has been paramount, and 20 point on board. Shortfall placement points, but 16 in limbs? 7. They turned up the heat to 11.
They were taking the fight with anybody. First, we saw them fight Furia, and that's the one you were talking about, where all the players, there were already some knocked, there were already some with way below 50% HP, and they were able to come back from that one. For this squad, remember, as we end up going into Miramar, they do have a chicken dinner in Miramar.
I mean, we do have to talk about, of course, their rivals in PMGO Season 1 here is going to be Fourth Rise. Only a 3-pointer. I was really happy throughout the entirety of this tournament. They are fixing their weird splits, but here they were willing to at least sacrifice one player, which you're already happy about, Seb.
Yes, congratulations, Fourth Rise. You were able to finally sacrifice a player, but boy, do you guys piss me off whenever you end up doing one of the weirdest splits that I've ever seen you guys do. And the reason why I'm bringing this up and the reason why I'm being so harsh is because this is always happening with this squad. They just start getting into their mind. I don't know if it comes down to just one player, whatever the case might be, but just look at that gap that Ulf has been able to close up. 13 points. For Fourth Rise, if you do want to win the championship, you need to lock in. You need to make sure you go back to your basics of what you were able to do yesterday. Don't start changing stuff up with this weird 2-1 splits, sending Husaifa by himself in the middle of the zone. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, Miramar is their home turf. They got 100% win ratio on Miramar yesterday, so that's definitely a bit of a positive leading into these 2 following games. But I fully agree, Seven. I couldn't put it any better. They are definitely shaking in their own boots. They're feeling the pressure. Now, also in the Smash Zone, the pressure is at an all-time high.
To emphasize even more on that push, if you're not sure about actually committing with Husaifa when you send them to the center of the circle, have them fall back. You were already down a player. Remember, they had to sacrifice IQ. You have to make sure you are decisive. And if we go back to group stages with Fourth Rise performance, one of the big things that actually upset me from then in group stages was that they were just not able to be decisive. And it's starting to showcase again.
This is group stage 4 Thrives was in that game. Unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, speaking of decisive, you know, we were talking about a little bit of an engagement earlier on. We saw Ulf and Fudia get into it. If 4 Thrives would have been able to third party that situation, that could have stopped this whole situation, but instead, they decided to play a little bit slower.
Look, would it be risky? Yes, but the potential upturn off of that fight, if you do come out on top, would have been just incredible. So, indecisiveness, and yeah, group stage is just back in the bloodstream for 4 Thrives, and they are really having a bad time.
Well, we're going into Miramar, guys. So, Seven, if you can, one more time, remind which team you feel is going to be the strongest going into Miramar.
Oh, they got the momentum. Yeah. They've had a win. Yes, I know 4 Thrives was able to get 2 wins yesterday, but the body language, luckily for us, we're in the arena. We're able to look at the players. I'm looking at the body language of these players of 4 Thrives, and it's completely the opposite that it was after Rondo. Remember, earlier in the day in Rondo, they had an amazing match. Right now, just a lot of question marks.
I mean, Blank was talking about it. He was like, the players are smiling on the side of Ulf. And the thing is, they've been given hope for the first time in these finals. Hope is coming their way, and they're stripping the hope away of 4 Thrives, are getting just sadder and sadder by the minutes, it feels like. So, Miramar, man, this one is going to be intense.
You can take a look there at the top performers, and one of them is going to be a 4 Thrives player in T24.
And I want to see those performances. Hopefully he's gonna have to pull some kind of performances here. If anything, I'm gonna put some extra pressure on some of those players. And the one player I'm actually gonna be looking at is Falak, the main star of that squad, the one that everybody looks after. He has to set the tone. He has to make sure he leads by example. Even if he might be the IGL, he is the owner of 4 Thrives, and he needs to make sure he starts putting up good numbers.
Gotta perform.
Where was Tom going?
Yeah, I saw him and Doc take off there for a second. Maybe they're gonna go.
He's gonna play, right? We don't know.
Maybe get a little hydration here because we're headed to the desert here, guys. And now we have a show. I mean, it's so crazy to me again, the fact that we have Ulf not only in the Smash Zone, which we were talking about as a possibility, but could possibly win it with just points.
I think it's going to happen. As Seven just stated, they are a very momentum-based team. It's time to make it happen on the Dusty Juice.
Let's get into it as we go into the last 2 matches of this grand finals. We're headed into Miramar, Arigel, Rondo, done. And let's take a look here at this play path.
Call it play path too. It should be able to just kind of spread everybody out. If you're all now, you're in the same situation where you're going to have not only just the lobby against you, you're going to have the crowd against you, because every single time somebody from 4 Thrives got eliminated, boy, this crowd was going absolutely nuts. And this is what I was talking in regards to Ulf. They got that maturity. They got that experience. I don't think they're going to let that kind of stuff pace them.
I don't feel like they're going to crumble under the pressure of being in the Smash. And I feel like, if anything, this is going to boost them even more, that they could be the champions, claiming all of these players their first international trophy. And who knows, maybe the MVP Award too, because those players have been putting up insane numbers today, Hot Juice.
Well, we just saw 4 Thrives exit the plane. Time to heat things up just a little bit more as we head on over to the desert and to our casters.
Oh, it's getting toasty here on Miramar. It is hot indeed. 4 Thrives and Ulf both with a chance to clash and to find one another, lacking here on the desert. 100% win rate for 4 Thrives in Miramar final games, but on a massive momentum streak. Huge momentum streak here for them. 7-2-1 getting taken out by the knife from Swash to begin things off. The circle is towards Ulf to start things off. Down towards Puerto Paraiso. A lot of water in, with the island still in play. 4 Thrives do not have to go far, but Ulf, more importantly, can set the barricade between themselves and 4 Thrives if they so wish. Let's think back to the last time we had an East Island finish, Blank, in the finals of London. We found ourselves going all the way out there. It was, I think it was Regnum Kaya at that time who were chasing towards that top spot. Countrymen of Ulf, obviously both Turkish teams. They were able to do so much, but in the end, it was D plus Kira able to win out from the islands on the offside. Will we see a repeat of that? So unlikely that these islands get played in, but it's always possible. And with Fourth Rise being a lot further from the coastline, you've got to imagine that they'd have to play late through this one.
The big thing for Ulf right now is they took a massive split at the start of the game. They have a huge amount of awareness of what's going on inside the circle, where players are. Right now, they control pretty much Labandita and everything that sits over towards the north side of it, including Minas Generales. So for Ulf, they start this game off really strong in terms of the information game. Is the momentum still going to be there? Because we have got hyped up about teams like this in the past, and then they have fallen flat as soon as they hit the match point. The same can happen to Ulf here.
7-2-1 on our screens right now. Blank, this was a team we were talking about doing so well from yesterday, capitalizing on what I think was a lot of mistakes, I think it's safe to say, from a lot of other teams, allowing them into the gaps, allowing them to survive where perhaps they shouldn't have done. It's just been a big fall off for them today, and I think that coming into this, a lot of people would have probably put them on the back page. It seems to be where they're going to be closing their day. They're still in the scrap, though, with Gaming Stars, and can potentially find something. They're not quite finding its way all the way in. Gaming Stars find the hot drop on Miramar. I wonder if it will beat next game. Earn some more points as Maniac able to close one down. Does get shot down with the DBS to the kneecaps. Nice little leg sweeper there. Potentially a little bit more, but there's just challenges back and forth between them and GameStar. The arena want to take a slice of the pie, add it to their tally, and up towards the top of the table, it is all too welcome.
Decent pushing coming through. GameStar over towards 7-2-1. A lot of teams seem to be getting cut out quite early here on Miramar as well, and another challenger will step up to the plate. Two teams going down really early here, John. Does open up the circle in a big way.
Assist coming through from Tony K for E-Arena to stay alive as much as they can. Taking down more and more players. Rolex the last to roll. 4 Gaming Stars. Unlikely that E-Arena are going to let them get away with this one. His position is known. They should have a full encirclement here, but Rolex might just be able to wend his way through the hills and get to safety. Nobody else really getting stuck in at this point. And 4 points snappled away from the lobby by Gaming Stars, and no one's really going to blink twice about that. The arena on 3 though, and they draw level with Furia.
Again, as we say though, all that with 2 teams going down, that is a total of 8 players out of the lobby. Miramar is a big place. 2 teams being out opens up so much space to play around with. Fourth Thrives, they don't have to deal with many teams coming in from that western side. They can start to play this out a little bit more comfortably. They are moving over towards Ulf right now, though, well as the Flash. Very close to Ulf.
Rise potentially in danger. I mean, the map can sometimes be a little bit deceptive in terms of closeness, in terms of proximity, but yeah, Team Flash definitely have had shots over towards Fourth Thrives here, and they continue to ring out. The boot pinging the lead away, but will take a little bit of damage to the vehicle. Still looking pretty healthy, though. Should be fine for the time being. Fourth Thrives yet to get tagged.
Fourth Thrives do make it through. A good rotation from them. Actually, a very nice rotation from Picardo. Not much competition. Able to find a decent spot to play in from. Ulf is playing a 2-2 split right now on the southeast side of Labandita, and then just a little bit further towards the south. They're trying to confirm the best spot over towards that fielded area, just in case we head there. In which case we do, they have a really awesome springboard at the start of their game. Most likely just waiting for this stage to shift, and then very, very big decisions will have to happen shortly after that.
Ido from S2G versus Pandem. S2G were able to have a miracle run on Miramar in their group stage to make the top 6 here. And they'd love to go as far as they can on this one as well, I'm sure. They're in a solid spot here. Western Impala near Minas Generalis as well. Nades are connecting, and Pandem hiding behind these corners. Just a little bit too much terrain in the way for a flag to catch them. Take them down on the knock. On the north side, we'll have threat potentially from Aura and BTR in maybe about a minute's time, but this fight could be pretty slow.
It's going to definitely slow down a fair amount right now. For S2G currently battling out for that eastern edge of Minas Generalis versus Pandem at the moment. But we are I think most players, most teams are waiting for this second shift. There's a lot of potential of what it can do on this next circle. We could head far over towards the eastern side, play around Impala, which would be interesting, especially for Boom in terms of trying to get up towards that top side of the table.
Making it into third place for Boom would pretty much lock in their spot over on the PMWC as well. And depending on where Bigatron finish, they could leave them with a fourth place, but they do need to get at least fourth place, no matter what, to be able to jump up and pass, because Bigatron are currently in fourth on their regional points, with 19 on the PMWC points scoring tables. And you need to get at least fourth on this table to score more than that, and likely more, because BTR won't finish last.
Both Wolf and Four Thrives taking splits right now, trying to confirm as best they can into this next circle, which will be popping in just 10 seconds' time. This is probably one of the most pivotal circles during this entire tournament of who it favors and where it goes. Both Ulf and Four Thrives towards the center, heads north. Four Thrives do need to get a move on, but Ulf have open space in front of them to make the dash.
Do they have the speed? It looks like they're already on the bike. Four Thrives split 2 and 2 around Team Flash, behind a lot of teams on the queue. BTR happy to move up towards that hill to the east of Truck Stop, maybe falling short there. I don't imagine they want to step too much closer. E-Arena happy on the north side. I think they've lost a player though earlier on in their fights with Gaming Stars. No, they are as 4. I think that's every team. Yeah, every team is playing as 4 here. The East Coast by Impala, however, Blank, is going to be a bloodbath. Four Thrives, are they going to get stuck in near Impala?
They are trapped right now. Four Thrives are in a really quite difficult situation to be in between GOAT as well as TT Project. TT Project will hear these shots ringing out, and they're bringing up the rear at the moment. None of these teams are in, so they do need to move further forward, but Four Thrives got a big task in front of them. Luckily, Cypher opens up well over towards Force.
Gives position away, though. Teams are going to know that this is where Four Thrives are playing. Could potentially be a little bit more of a motive to get stuck in. But you know that Ulf is also in that smash point boundary, so it's not just the one team you need to worry about. Do you throw a game away to stop them from scoring points at this stage with Ulf still in the game? I'm not entirely sure, especially when they're a full 4. GOAT team looking to try and keep ahead of them, and Boom beyond that.
Really important pick-off for Four Thrives there. It means that GOAT is now on the run, and they can just follow them in, basically ride their tailwind off the back of this one. Get further in towards the circle, but they are stuck on the edge of Impala, must remember that.
Managed to get past it though, fairly convincingly. GOAT team have gone along the coastline behind Boom, who are taking position on these mountains, but the terrain covers it off. Where GOAT team decide to pull up is where Four Thrives are going to have to set their challenge and maybe stake their claim. Falak draws it short because now Yummy is starting to get involved. So is Octa from this massive high ground they hold.
Gorgeous bit of high ground to work with. The big thing right now is that Yumi's also holding Longhouse, which is a hard prospect for Four Thrives because this would be a great checkpoint for them. They just swing by on this coastal edge. Hazaifa getting close to focus at the moment. Moxie providing cover.
Through all of this, Blank, Ulf are very clearly in the center, fairly safe next to Pandem. No one's pushing them at all. So it is Four Thrives in the most danger right now of our 2 hotspot teams. They've already managed to find a point, but GOAT team. Oh, Falak and Aurora, they're pushing it from behind. Oh, it's a pincer. This is dangerous. Falak is down. Will potentially get flushed away here. Indeed he will. And Four Thrives are on 3. Going very low. Octa can't quite clip IQ on the approach. Looks for more. Looks for that spray down. But maybe Aurora in for the assist.
The circle heads over towards Ulf, Pandem, Aura. Four Thrives have further to go and they might just fall down again. T24 out, leaving IQ as well as Hazaifa, the last 2 players alive.
The foundations for Four Thrives built on sand and will crumble in the desert wind right now. 2 players alive and a massive chance for Ulf to sneak this one away at the 11th hour. It's unlikely the Four Thrives finish anywhere below second, but it would be an ashen second place.
Trying to find any purchase on this circle. Aura just beneath them. Shots are taken. There's another angle along the way. You can see how low these players are going. IQ making the mad dash, but the vehicle starts to smoke.
Cypher and IQ. I mean, if they can pull this one out the bag, they're a stronger man than many. And they get to a shack for Cypher. IQ, does he commit to it as well? This is fairly central, and they will be able to outlast. And remember, points are also very important with how close Ulf are now, especially given their position in the map.
Well, for Fourth Rise, points are now king, because it doesn't matter if we get to the last match, because that will be the final match anyway. For Fourth Rise, there is no smash outside of that sixth game. There is no smash possibility here in my eyes, with only 2 players left remaining, and still under pressure.
Points for Fourth Rise. 2 players are alive, but they are under a lot of pressure. Up on the hilltop. Looks like Aurora are potentially getting stuck in. Shots over towards Horror. Goat team as well with their players that remain. The 3 of them. Look at a plan from the northeastern side. West Edge is just so free, Blank.
Yeah.
And it's Ulf and Team Flash, the only players who are there.
Pretty much, if we get a western shift on the circle, Ulf is in such a good spot because it's so barren around this area, you can see, and Ulf has this lovely position to play from. Very hard to inject yourself over towards that spot, but they still need to get a western shift on this one. It's not done just yet, because if this pushes away from Ulf, they have to leave, and that's hard.
Certainly is. Real tough stuff. Come on through, nades traded, no knock found, but Moxie takes the brunt of the damage. Safety backed off the angle by the rear guards from Goat Team, but they've both taken a heavy hit and have to get some healing done. We'll be able to find some, but Focus has fallen. Boom are also out in the wings waiting for it. Goat Team starting to falter now, starting to stumble. Just these 2 players on the angle, and Safji looks for Moxie. More nades are pouring in, and Furia will get stuck in as well on the north side. BTR are there, and it's a south shift. It's not the best for all, but it's still pretty bloody good.
It works well for them. They have so much control over the circle now, and they can take a lot of shots. So even if they don't get the chicken dinner off this game, there's a high potential for eliminations coming through from Ulf in the near future.
Horror rip through Furia on the approach, getting 1 knock and flush. There is an answer from Ayala, but Furia just faltering a couple of times so far today and will not be able to jump up and be in competition for the top spot. Horror will want revenge, and they descend for 1 and another. The first Miramar sees Brazil out. They'll have to go to the last.
Furia not able to get over the match point, and not close enough, but looking to try and hold on to their 3rd place spot. E-Arena is on the chase. BTR moves up, and Aura getting swept aside a little bit here.
Aurora with S2G challenging them. Top goes down. Aurora now on 2 players. It's Doc and Seol. Kamikaze lost, and Solke up and into the fight for S2G. They've still got a backstop coming through, and Hamzy G, who's fending off TT Project, could be dangerous if they're found.
Cypher down.
Cypher is down as well. You're right. For Fourth Rise, they are just the 1 player remaining. IQ, the last to stand. It's not a chicken dinner. It's not even going to be survival points at this stage. Goodness me, they are starting to limp through this one.
Good shots from Bozy over towards Aura here as they try and careen their way into the circle. Over towards that south side, Flash in a good spot. Also, you can see right here on your screen, they have the full 360.
Wow. Full control. Nowhere to hide. Aura still trying to pelt the circle with players and moving 1 in. Aurora still struggling against S2G, and TT Project not pushing past the backstop. Seol falls next. S2G, they're on 4 eliminations now. Looking to try and climb as high as they can on the tables.
So many teams injured here, though, at this point in time. The Flash is up with 4 right now. Boom does get eliminated. S2G down on 3 players, Aura on 1. Pandem's still alive, but what can they do at this point? They have been struggling through this tournament so far. See if they can have a step up right now at the end. Next circle shift, so important for this team. They need it towards the north side for Ulf. But again, there are so many injured squad here, and they are one of the few 4-mans left remaining. out of this lobby that has just been torn apart by the 17-minute mark.
I think they take a west shift as well, Blank, here. I mean, all the teams out to the east, your main threat then is E-Arena, but you can hold out all these teams to the east, play off of Team Flash's position as well, and just cut this circle in half. Limit the number of enemies that can take you down, and potentially earn a heck of a lot of points for it as well.
IQ, keeping it calm inside the shack right now. There is a burning vehicle outside, so anyone that pops over this ridge should realistically know there might be a player in here and potentially look to clear. Pandem certainly knows what's going on. They've been taking shots towards these players for quite some time now. Okay, next circle shift. Let's see where it heads. What it will spell for the rest of the teams in the lobby.
South. Away from Ulf. They do not get the shift and they have to move now. But the teams on the east will have to move first, Blank. That's Pandem, that's BTR, that's IQ as well. 4-4 Thrives. So it may not be a chicken dinner here for Ulf. But E-Arena have to move as well. That might open up a Western rotate for them.
But the Flash is a very classic position to take a chicken dinner from. One of the most classic on Miramar as well, considering just how open it is around this area. So for Ulf, a difficult task, I would absolutely say. But you're right, there's a lot of teams on the outer edge. How they play this off for the rest of the game is definitely going to be important because they essentially need to start sweeping and thinking more about points gain towards match 6, trying to get above 4 Thrives.
Opportunities hopefully going to present themselves for S2G. They would love to get higher on the tables. We saw, again, that back-to-back chicken dinner in their group stage. They do know Miramar. These are some storied players. BTR, though, wants to take them out of the mix, out of the running. On the north side, they're looking to poke their noses in. With the remnants of Horror, one player left standing. No Fear is alive for Horror. BTR, he will be aware of that. IQ is going to have to crawl into further up to the north.
All quietens down a little bit now. Everyone knows how difficult this next circle is to play. Big benefit for our team on the north side and Ulf is they've got all 4 vehicles still up because they're able to hide them away inside that compound, which is going to be a massive benefit for them into the future. Scarface starts to walk forward now for the team, tentatively placing his first steps into the circle.
And the good thing for Ulf is that they do have the roadside cover in play as well. They can get a little bit closer to the zone. They don't need to fully commit just yet. It would put them in danger, though, if they fully go for that roadside cover. E-Arena's position on the west, I think, is so important in this next zone, Blank, as well as, obviously, Team Flash. But E-Arena just stop anyone from crossing the road as IQ goes down. The last player from 4 Thrives falls and again denied the opportunity to smash.
Not a single placement point gathered either, John. As Kedge looks over towards Pandem, and potentially that might be an opportunity for them to open up on this eastern side. Flash also spots them and will begin to take shots.
Team Flash have such brilliant angles over towards Pandem. So do S2G. So do Ulf. I don't think Pandem can make this one. I don't think anyone can make this rotate flank. A player out in the open, maybe just dipping into the blue. Leon tries to save his bacon, but it is cooking. It is sizzling. And I don't think it's going to stay unburnt too much longer.
Flash continuing to open up from this incredible spot of the map to play in. E-Arena down towards the southwest side. Nora finding more, but shots sent over this way, and Eren at least steals away 1.
They do manage to heap on the damage. One player now left for Pandem. Next circle coming on through. Will it push all further? It goes central. This should be Team Flash's game. All things considered, they are coming off of a chicken dinner. They're looking to keep that momentum going and maybe jump up the tables nice and high, but it's E-Arena, TT Project on the southwest that really haven't stepped towards one another yet.
Ulf has to make a decision soon. How do they want to play this one out? They're looking for spots to play. They're not necessarily looking for players. Points would be perfect for them going forward. I really don't know how they play this one out. Do they make the big wrap over towards the eastern side potentially? S2G now coming up against Aura inside the building.
And the spray down for Kamikaze is good. Will be able to find the first one. BTR struggling with the burn, with the fire in his his feet. Hamzy able to weather it, and there's only one player left. BTR are out. The circle is on the middle of this one, and they have to move. But Ulf make their dash, and they lose two. A big hit coming through from the last player of Aura, from Team Flash as well. And Ulf are down to one. Just Catch remains.
A disgustingly difficult push for them. They tried to set themselves up. If they got the North Shift on this, they potentially win. But now Ketch is the last left alive. He's looking for placement points now, putting themselves ever closer to 4 Thrive to potentially leapfrog them in the final match of the day.
Ketch is in the zone though here, and S2G have to move now. Their opportunity to make their way forwards. And Ketch is not going to make S2G's life easy. He's not going to go down without a fight. Lost is down behind. The Tractor doesn't have a lot of cover to play around. He's tagging the shots. Needs one more would do it. The healing's coming. You need to land it, Ketch. What's happening? His teammates now up in play. And no smash. We're going all the way. 12 matches here. The opportunity's been there since the start of the day. But we will see our final terminal Miramar.
But high placing, decent spot to be in, get themselves ever closer, and the sights are there now. 4-4 Thrives at the end of the day. There is still a capability to come out swinging for 4 Thrives in those final moments.
Same could be said for Ulf though. I don't think there's anyone. I mean, E-Arena, could they potentially jump up and break that smash boundary with every single elim left in this game? I mean, they might be able to if they get a chicken dinner here. On the western side, they do have some ridge cover. I mean, in theory, they could. In theory, E-Arena could break the smash boundary in this match. I think potentially so could TT Project as well. As much of an outside chance as it is, it's still possible. It's still possible.
We will now just wait for the leaderboards after this game comes through and can determine just exactly how close it is towards the top side of the lobby. But deserted ground in front of them. And this is last desserts for a lot of squads right now when it comes to those eliminations to potentially try and leap up towards the top side of the lobby. I'm pretty sure at one point, Ulf actually controlled the compound that Flash is currently playing. But you gotta take a gamble.
Gotta be galling. Arena flexing out, moving Schweppes into the open, as is Tony K, although he's got a little bit of cover from the hay shed. Project, they've been playing on this roadside for a long time. They're not really peeking up and over. They need to stay covered off from Team Flash. S2G, very close by towards Team Flash, and this has got to be worrisome, especially when you're not able to get the knock like that. Kamikaze drifts in behind the Tractor. Manages to hit the deck. A lot of damage being poured back their way. I think now is where Team Flash should start to worry.
Flash inside their building, like you say, eventually they'll have to leave. E-Arena makes the swing up. They aren't looking their way either. They were looking over towards S2G. A great moment to pick here for E-Arena to try and get themselves further into this game. TT Project meandering up the road, looking for something, but now marooned, sadly, on the south side.
2G will move to the east edge. Big damage though, the vehicle goes up. They should be able to heal this one through. I wonder how much ammo Team Flash have left overall. It's looking like it might be pretty bare here, Blank. This could be a pretty important factor coming through for Team Flash in terms of their efficacy into these final stages.
Too bad. I mean, it's not a huge amount of ammo, but again, we're towards the end game right now. But for the Flash, they just haven't made enough casualties around the map. That's the big issue. S2G coming into this with 14 nades will be critical to push through the mire that sits in front of them.
I kind of like E-Arena for this one right now, Blank. Not think Team Flash have the legs to get out of their compound. I mean, the next shift could gift them an absolute belter on a hard north shift, but for E-Arena, they've got this high ground overlook on the rest of these angles, and it will put just outside of Team Flash's compound. I think E-Arena may be able to take quite a lot of this game.
Actually, I think for TT Project, though, they might have just got themselves a bit of a life raft here down the south side. They swim away from Arena six grenades, but most importantly here, 9 smokes. They have been saving these up all game in preparation for this moment.
A real fast stretch, both the Arena and TT Project. Again, could potentially break that smash boundary in this match, where they would require the majority of the elims left available in this lobby for either team. As they start to go down, so for instance, if S2G takes shots at Team Flash and nobody loses out, nobody steals those points away, it will not be possible. We will be going in with only 2 teams there, but as it stands, we could see a third.
Game's going to get dastardly now. 40 seconds until we get to zone 9. S2G has to make their breakout. They're using smokes to cover their tracks. Loss is going to hold the angle, but DS finds the first.
Epson gets the spray down. 1 elim denied now to our chasing teams, the Arena and TT Project. Kamikaze peeks out the side. Wind looks for more, but there's a lot of damage being poured on in as well. And maybe from TT Project, Team Flash have to leave the safety of the buildings that have kept them safe for so long. And their ammo supplies will be running fairly dry. Hamzy is spotted though. That does go over towards Zeus. Will he be able to confirm that flush, or will it be pinged away by E-Arena, by someone from TT Project? As Flash lose one on the approach, FES finds it.
Final circle now, stage 9. It's really come down to this. TT Project desperately trying to hold out their position. E-Arena gets into nade range. Like we said before, they had a ton of nades to work with. First one heads over towards Effect, and it is good. And one goes far from TT Project, will not find the knock that they were desperately looking for, and the damage is coming through very thick.
Hamzy trying to suppress the angle as well. Effect is down and will be flushed most likely, but S2G can get involved in this fight. Foreman flushes it out. Where are S2G? Will they take the points? Will E-Arena be able to keep it going? S2G now looking to marshal the roadside, and they are fumbling. For E-Arena, they cannot find it. And S2G and Flash will close down this game. We go into our final Miramar with only 2 options of a smash, but Team Flash want the back-to-back.
Good nades from S2G over the top. A team that is very well versed on Miramar, as you may know from their group. The shots are coming through. Hamzy G weathering the storm on the eastern side, and S2G, the kings of the desert, ride once again.
S2G, it will be a Turkish win, despite it not being all. But this is what we waited for them, and these final last-minute blast-outs coming from a couple of these teams are good to see.
Oh, ever so close on that boundary. 2 teams to smash on this last game, but it's most likely going to come down to those points. We will see what happens going forward. No matter what happens here, though, both teams are going to be feeling mighty nervous into this last game.
Absolutely. S2G claimed that chicken dinner. Team Flash did a lot of work, though, in that game to be able to put more points on the board. It is a big ascendancy from their performance over in day 1. Team Flash have done more. This game, they were helped by the circle, sure. Last game, they felt very proactive, and I enjoyed their game there. It was just so unfortunate that they took that compound away from Oath. Assuming you're an old fan, it's unfortunate, that is. Because it was so close to them being on with a chance to take it, potentially. But it's not going to happen here. It may happen in the next one. S2G take the chicken dinner to see us into a final map of Miracle.
Are you kidding me, S2G? These guys in Miramar are just like peanut butter and jelly. They just go together. But the big story here, folks, is we have one match left. It is Fourth Rise versus Ult. And this one is way too close for comfort.
Well, it was a 13-point difference, and now it's down to single digits. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 points separate the Turkish team to the Pakistani squad. And it will be down to the last game. We will be going every single game today here, Seven. I was hoping for a smash, but man, this is absolute cinema now.
This is insane for a team to be able to close up a 50-point gap and now have a chance to win it via points. At one point, I was just saying, if any team's going to challenge them, it will be via Smashville. Some people were on social media crowning a champion. That is not the case. And it's not going to be just via Smashville. It could be via points as well.
If both do win, I've got the receipts. I got a lot of screenshots of everyone that posted prematurely before celebrating that win of Fourth Rise. But still, actually, looking at TT Project, what a comeback from them.
Crazy win here. Let's take a look at the comms and hear what these players had to say.
Thôi mình vô trong được á, mình vô phía trong này nè. Quảng trái luôn. Cái còn ngoài trái kìa. Ngoài trái nữa. Bắt qua trái, bắt qua trái. Đầu người đó hả? Xong rồi anh em mình áp bên đây, áp bên đây. Cho nó chơi trái. Ủa đó mà. Đâu không, rồi móc. Bo. Nhìn nó đặt tâm nó. Phải nó mua đó, phải nó mua. Cho mình đi, chết chạy. Đó, bắn nó kìa. Máy là trên này nó kìa, nó kìa. Còn bóng mình phải chạm được phải một thôi. Má được không chết luôn. Rồi sẽ nó quýt với. Thế rồi. Không còn gì hết á. Còn súng gì á. Như ta ở.
So to hear their thoughts going into this last game, and look at that, 9 eliminations here at the end.
MCG with the 9. All right, 1,100 damage too from this squad. I mean, we've seen SCG do this in the past. The question becomes, if S2G is trying to do what they did in their group stage, they're going to be taking points away from those two top teams. But it's just so close, man. It's
not
so insanely close.
It's not like you have to be top 6 to be champions, you know? You have to be number 1, so realistically, it's not going to happen. But good to see HamCG, as you said, do well. 9 eliminations, almost 1.2k damage. He's been a champion here before with S2G in Jakarta, and he also will be crowned your game MVP. Not really surprising. I just wish we saw S2G get these kind of results earlier in the tournament if they wanted to have a chance, but they are a late bloomer, and in a short format like this, that is not going to be rewarded.
No, not at all, especially with the consistency that we've seen in these 2 days, right? Day number 1, obviously, Fourth Rise having a lead that was unfathomable, and with us thinking, and everybody thinking that, hey, no one's going to catch him, and then all of a sudden, Ulf said, hello.
It's not a little hello, it's a big hello.
Hello.
Yeah, right now. You know what? You were saying you were angry at Fourth Rise earlier, Seven, and I'm joining the gang. I'm angry. Why the hell is Falak on the front line scouting almost 200, 300 meters away from his team? The moment he encounters some players, I think it was Aurora at one point, he goes down right away. What is going on? This team is just not ready to be a Smash champion.
Yeah, for all the Fourth Rise fans, me including myself, if you want to see the definition of just tunnel vision, go back and see how Fourth Rise was just hunting down goats. They were just bloodlust straight after them, and it put them in such a bad situation. Now, on the opposite side, I already know that it is getting, the pressure is being getting to Fourth Rise. I saw Ulf, even though they do end up with 5 points, do something a little bit different. This squad took way too long to reach into the actual circle. And when the decision-making came about, this is the second time now that we see Ulf not being able to execute a way inside a circle late in the game. Earlier, we saw it happen against Aura. Here again, it happens in a bad way.
This one, I can kind of give them a little bit of respite because it was such a hard transition. You're on the northern side, the circle does not favor you, and every team does pretty much in the circle have a compound or a really good dip on the road in the sense of TT Project. I feel like there were maybe better ways they could approach it, but the circle is literally one of the toughest they could have ever had in that scenario. So it doesn't work out, but they're still single digits away, so it's going to be down to the wire.
Yeah, for them, I was hoping they would go either to the east or the west. Mostly just the east, trying to maybe take a fight there with Pandem. And as you can tell, right here, it's so close between these two teams.
That is right. It is a two-pony show here as we got Four Thrives versus Ulf. 9-point difference. I wish you guys at home so bad could just hear Max and Seven's thoughts during the game, because almost all day it's like Four Thrives. What are you doing? Massive. Start moving. Yeah, and then all of a sudden in this last game, it's like, why are you pushing? Calm down. You know, it's just so crazy that they've had such a shift in play and it's just not working towards the end of the day.
Look, me the entire time is just like, no, what are you doing? And I repeat that throughout the entire game until they eventually get eliminated.
Oh boy, it's it. It's just gonna be two teams, folks. Everybody else is gonna be hunting to add to their prize pool.
Yeah, actually, TT Project, I wanted to talk about them real quick. They got a really strong finish, top 4. They just needed top 11. They're like, actually, podium is maybe not out of the question for them, right? So if they can do what they did on Orangle this time around on Miramar, hey, TT Project could have one of the biggest comebacks of PMGO Season 1.
I gotta pose a question, boys.
Okay.
If you're Four Thrives, maybe try to find a way that you can make Ulf's life a little bit more difficult. Not early in the match.
Yeah.
But just try to do what some of the other teams were doing to them throughout this whole day. Remember, that is the only team that can generally pass them. If you can just eliminate just one player of Ulf, that makes their life so much more difficult to actually try to get a chicken dinner and to get even more points.
I feel like if you know 100%, no doubt in your mind, you have an opportunity to wound a player or multiple even of Ulf, send it, because even if you go down, no one else outside of top 2 can really compete for the championship. So if you just get rid of that team, the win is sure to go your way.
I'm not talking about a full crash, though. I'm not talking a full-on 4v4.
Just one player,
just one player, just 1-2 players, because it's so close that if you do end up committing and it backfires, guess what? That's going to cost you the championship. Just take one player away. Take 2 players away from far away. Don't over-risk it.
And that is absolutely, I think, the best advice going into this last game. Every part of me wants that not to happen, though. I want to see these two battle it out to see who wins this championship. The crowd to go absolutely nuts. But at the end of the day, you got to pull out every trick in your book if you want to become champions. So let's see. Let's see how Four Thrives are going to do. They got a lead, but is that lead going to...
na maonyesho yao. Miongoni mwa wageni ambao walikuja hapa ni pamoja na huyu mwandishi maarufu wa kuitwa Greta. Greta yeye akavutiwa sana na kazi zao kiasi cha kwamba akaamua kutaka kushirikiana nao kikazi. Pia yeye akawa na furaha kupita kiasi kwa sababu hapa alikuwa amepewa nafasi ya kuweza kukutana kwenye kikao muhimu na yule mtu maarufu ama mwandishi maarufu wa kuitwa Greta katika siku inayofuata. Sasa wakati Mia anaendelea kuzungumza na yule Greta, simu yake ikaendelea kuita tena na tena, na ni baba yake Raymond alikuwa akipiga hapa. Simu ikaita ya kwanza, bidada akapuuza.
You make sure you do enough to stay at the top. You have a 9-point lead. You have given up a lot of points, Max. Can you actually do just enough to get your first championship and win it for Pakistan?
I got a little bit scared. I saw Ulf drop at the same time as Four Thrives. Like, no, please don't drop Ricardo. But no, they will be going to the eastern side near La Bandita. We are safe for the early game.
Well, the crowd is on their feet. The stadium is making some noise. I hope you guys at home are doing the same as we send it on over to our casters for the last time.
The race for the top spots begins. Their final chance to smash. 9 points separates the two teams at the top, and we're going all the way west on the circle. A lot of unplayable terrain. We saw the East Coast before. We're going away from Impala this time around.
This is Four Thrives' time to shine. Down towards the southwest side, they've had some good games off the back of this one. For Max, he predicts Four Thrives. Predicts Ulf, sorry.
Whoa.
He's the anti-curse.
That's powerful tonic they're throwing out.
He's dropped the anti-curse. He's given it to Four Thrives. Potentially, without that ailment, they can get the win here. 9 points sit between the two of them. A tie, most likely, would go in 4thrive's direction. They have more placement points right now.
Chicken dinners first, though. I don't think Ulf have... I think
3.
they've only got 1.
Yeah, they've only got 1.
Even if they got a chicken dinner, they'd win anyway, so it doesn't matter. We don't even need to think about that. A tie would go the way of 4thrives. And locked in with GK in what is very likely an uneventful fight in the grand scheme of things over towards Hacienda. Easy for Bad Boy on the rooftops, jumping about like he's some sort of ninja from some sort of village blank. Don't know where that could be, but Easy for Bad Boy will be shut down. Left, right, good night.
It wasn't a very hidden village, put it that way. Ragnarok now, off the distance. Theo pulls out the nade, throws it forward. Waiting in the midst, gets the shots off, but nothing happens, and Pandem will find yet another. The crowd giving them all the support they can. It's always really lovely to be in Jakarta. The crowd is always phenomenal.
Where did Boom lose all their players? On the east side. Is that accurate? Not entirely sure. It may well be. Who's picked up points for it?
BTR. Yeah.
BTR have taken down 2 players from Boom. Oh, this might be really bad for Boom's chances to jump up towards the... Well, it is really bad for Boom's chances to jump up and get that EWC spot.
RQ maybe just thrown a lifeline there by BTR of all people. The team that hot dropped them in Zaki and kind of ruined the mental for the rest of the day. Doing a favor right at the end of things. Here's 4thrives making their rotation out. Again, as always, 4thrives rotation for Picardo has been so clear and free. This is their big opportunity now to make something big happen right in these final moments. 9 points, it seems like a slim margin, but that usually is enough right at the final match. For Ulf, they could go out real early here.
Absolutely, they're coming through from La Bendita. PK continue their fight. After he's got the Tommy gun, see, he's got to take you down on the staircase too. Oh dear, he's got the nuts.
Not meant to be. Now finally, your GK Kevin coming across. No Tommy gun in hand. But does have the micros, which is kind of a poor man's Tommy gun.
Certainly a more modern version of the handheld. The GK will only play on with Kevin. He is very much home alone in this scenario. Will have to carry on for Geeke on his lonesome there. Geeke, not too much mobility on the tables right now for them with that 1 player left alive, but everybody else that's kind of near this is still in this really very closely fought battle for money, for placements up and down these tables.
Yeah, there's tons on the line here. I mean, 54 points. Still can jump ahead of Aura. But Aura, they're 1 good game away from even a 5th place at this stage of the game. Cool to see. 4thrives do get stuck in over towards the western side of the Latidera. There is an outpost here from Furia, though. It could potentially cause some problems as they are rotating around, so they will be going loud. Furia, it seems, Igor is just going to wrap back towards the rest of the team, or at least recall them. Request some reinforcements. They're going for a 2-2 split here, John.
The desk has criticised them a little bit for going for these 2-2 splits, but maybe this one will pay off for 4thrives. They are...
The problem is, though, this is a difficult 2-2 split to regroup.
Yeah, it's such a big gulf that sits, that valley between the 2 legs of the La Tierra Hills. It's such a difficult gap to cross.
It's also making their way on over right now as Black, as well as IQ, holding out inside this spot. Force has already got MG3, apparently, as TT Project do take a knock and a flush off the back of that one.
I'm just saying, there's a podium potential for this team, for TT Project. They needed 11th or higher to see their way into the PMWC and push the Vicious out of PMWC. And it seems like that is very, very likely.
Reefer spots over towards Ulf there. Aaron immediately pulling the pin on the grenade. If you want to delay this, Aurora is a terrifying team to go up against. No matter the scenario. It goes long, there's a little bit of damage towards the monster truck. Ulf, they need to make a quick exit on this one. They know they need to get further into the game. They do not want to scupper their chances right now, and it's likely they know which team they're coming up against. I don't think you can ever underestimate Aurora.
Glory from those players. Tale as old as time. Cannot deny them their prestige, but it will be a chance to open points potentially. Goat team. Another team that has been in contest for some of these top spots. Force those struggling around the corner will start to go low. Has to back off the angle. Traded off with Iato. And Force falls down. Zerich is down as well though. Ephius nearly there, and the top rope from Goat team will collapse and start to strangle TT out of this game.
TT Project looks like their run might be done right now. Mid-air will go down. And they are left up in the air here at 5th place, 77 points. S2G somehow, some way, made a very, very miraculous performance today to get up towards 74.
And there is a podium potential for S2G as well. As the arena start to crumble, no chance of pushing further. Horror have a little bit of revenge here as the nades start to pour on in. 2 players alive, and Mormon's very low already. Tony K on the ground floor has a little bit too much to handle, but he's going to go for it. Give it a good go. There's a nade, and it's all up to Mormons. 1 player now on the inside for the arena. 3 players on the downstairs floor. 2 of them are active. And Mormons has some third-party angles chiming in.
3rd place still up for grabs here with Furia still in the game. Fourth Rise finally make their regroup as well as the circle goes dead central on the Tanzania Valley. A really good chance here for Fourth Rise. Mormon opens up onto one over towards Sleepy. Any extra points is good. There's another, but it's over.
They will not go further in this match. They may yet still hold on to 3rd place though, as Furia are not out of the woods on the north side just yet.
Furia need to go further on this one. There's Masku, 7-2-1, last player alive there for Aura as he gets the rest of the reses up. Players were knocked in that engagement. Fourth Rise trying to clear out more space inside the lobby, but overall strong positions just abound for Fourth Rise right now. They've got the pick of the litter on this one. Ulf's trapped on the northeast edge.
Aurora peeking over. Age on that fight just yet. More willing to stick it on the outside. Boom. Remember their challenge. They would love a 3rd place finish. It would see them over RRQ. Put them in one of those top 4 spots guaranteed. The question then would be, would BTR join them?
We'll wait and see. Sure, we'll get an update on that at the end of the day. Time being, a lot of focus over towards Furia right now. Trying to hold off against the remaining players from Aura, northwest side. Ulf starts to make their way in. They pick up a couple of compounds on that northeast edge. They're basically hoping for a hardship because right now, the way things are going, Fourth Rise are massively set up for this endgame.
They're having a pretty good time of it right now. They have got 2 players out. They are still on a 2-2 split at this stage. The regroup is a lot more possible in their location right now than it was previously, though, Blank. They'll play very, very central on this one. Next circle displays in 30 seconds. We'll see our stage 3. Both of our 2 Smash Point teams already in this one. There's no hugely pivotal rotates to come on through. I feel like S2G is quite an interesting one. They had a massive game in the last match as well, Blank, looking to try and push further this time around, but they're going to enter from the south side and potentially even in towards Viademar.
It's one of the few options still remaining. No fear opening up towards Furia, though, is bad news, and that's as the circle's pushing in. Circle moves down towards Viademar. Fourth Rise instantly moving off the back of this one. They're in vehicles, they're heading towards Viademar proper. In the meantime, Furia taking more and more knocks.
This is, good news for Arena, right? If Furia go down, Aura will challenge them. Sky is there, but they will not find it. There's the money earned as third place jumped for Furia. They are up there, and very few teams can challenge them now. Fourth Rise in a fight against 721. IQ hold for a big Dave from the back line, takes both of them out, and Fourth Rise are cut in half. Hazaifa and Falak. Two players for Pakistan. They need more. They are not safe.
Both down, they profit 1 point at least. Fourth Rise down to 2 is bad news for them as Go rocks up to the party now. Both looking to make their push down towards the south side, but so many teams in their path.
Both are moving on this eastern side, trying to stay safe. They'll have seen these pop up in the Elim feed blank. They know what their task is. They know what job they have to do. The question is, do they have the ability to do it? Can they make their way to the top and do the unthinkable? Something thought impossible at the start today is but 10 points away.
Fourth Rise down to 2, under pressure right now, still taking shots out, trying to create themselves a little bit of a position with backbone, preventing teams from thinking they're too weak. But losing 2 players is a desperately bad thing to happen at this stage of the day. Versus 721, the upstarts here in PMGO Season 1.
Fourth Rise had so many opportunities, and it seems like this one may be going the way of all the others now. Sure, they're central. Sure, they've got Balak and Hazaifa. But it may just not be enough. They are bleeding. And Ulf still have 4. They're only 10 points behind.
10 points though. It is an absolute canyon at this stage of the game. It feels very, very hard to hit those points. They also know that they're attempting to hit a moving target, but they should have seen in the elimination feed at least 2 going down here. But again, their rotate in is so difficult. Fourth Rise through the rocky, tumultuous day might just still win it out off the back of points alone.
Furia, they want to go further. They've already pretty much locked in third place if they can survive a little bit longer. On the western side, they have to move further in. The circle doesn't cut either Fourth Rise or Ulf out of this one just yet. We weren't expecting it to. They were both very, very central. Does have a little bit of water in, but we're not getting any crazy bridge shenanigans like we saw previously on Miramar. Well, not yet. I'll caveat it with that.
Not looking to assault towards Fourth Rise position just yet. They know that it's honestly, at this stage of the game, it's not massively valuable to anyone just yet. To wait and see is Pandem actually making a mad dash over towards the south side. Fourth Rise will take shots over towards them. I don't know if that's ill-advised though, exposing a position like that.
You've got to at least pretend you've got 4 players, if nothing else. Pandem are only a duo also. They'll severely diminish their capabilities. Fury are taking up a position with only silence for now on the high ground of the bridge, which has so much oversight onto the rest of Ayadamar. Rest of Furia likely to look to regroup onto this and play on that crossroad.
Incredibly tense game right now for everybody involved. With the circle where it lies currently, not likely to cut Fourth Rise out in this next one. We'd have to go hard over towards that eastern side so they can still stick around here a little bit longer, try and place a bit higher in this game, eat into those placement points and see if that'll take them higher up the tables. They can also take shots over towards Pandem, maybe find a couple of eliminations there. Still see the shots start to ring back over towards Fourth Rise now.
Ooh, a knock onto Pandem. Leon does go down. Hopefully looking to flush that one away, but Falak, he may be over-peaking on this angle. Pandem, to be fair, maybe not Pandem, but a team should be looking to line up, return fire onto this spot and make this harder than it is. They should be able to find that res too. Furia go underneath the bridge with silence on the oversight. They've been allowed to move on in. Evan, who playing as that last player home alone for GK, will also be playing underneath the bridge.
Very slow game here on this side of the map. No one want to make any sudden movements here. Pandem dropped in a Groza as well as level 3s. Nice to see here.
Take it. I don't think they flex out for the drop right now.
Incredibly tense right now. Pandem saying goodbye to the crowd.
Hello, Leon. We see you. Playing for the Indo Pride. Sure, you might be bottom of the tables, but at least he's having a good time.
But you made it here. At the end of the day, you made it here. More than most. It is more than most. Win rocking 600 bullets is not something I thought I would see, but he's very much ready to play all the way through to the end and still have about 200 bullets remaining. Circle will be popping soon. Critical moment for a lot of teams to see where it ends up heading. Fourth Rise just would like a central shift on this one, even over towards the west.
Ooh.
And that is fantastic news for them.
It's interesting. I mean, this north side has got 3 teams playing here, right? You've got Team Flash, you've got Gaming Stars, you've got Aurora. Until that fight is entirely concluded, there's really no danger from the north. There's no real danger from the south either, because teams aren't really going to push through by Adamad. Maybe Furia could look to move up that hill, but I think Fourth Rise have a long time to go left in this one, which means placements.
Okay,
Ulf
what is
have to
this?
make their move because they are not in this zone.
Where are they going to go? Where are they going to drop into? This could be it all over right now. Looks like they're heading directly in the direction of Fourth Rise, who are taking shots over towards them. It's looking not great for the time being. Get themselves over towards the road. Any kind of purchase on the circle. One will drop out in terms of Eren, but they make their way in. Solus is down to 2 also.
The likelihood of a smash victory has just been diminished so greatly. For Ulf, they are only 2 players now, and there is no team with that smash boundary with a full 4. Being cut in half and put into by Adamad on a circle like this, where it's such a heavy presence on the south side, is terrible news for Ulf.
It was a slow roll-up as well from them. It took a while for them to identify the positions that were taken and were not. I also understand how difficult that kind of push can be. If perhaps they maybe got one more player into that building, it would have been tenable. But right now, you do feel like those 10 points is going to be like climbing up a mountain.
It is tooth and nail from here on out. Fourth Rise may have just been thrown a lifeline. This north side yet to conclude. Team Flash, Aurora, Gaming Stars as well. All full 4 rosters, or maybe I'll take that back, as Goat have spotted Ziol and will get the flush as well. Going to diminish the power of the team that is probably the most mobile into this zone.
No one looking towards Fourth Rise right now. They sacrificed 2 players, but they gained an incredible spot. Aurora working their way down. They lost 1 player in Ziol. Doc grabbed himself a care package. Hopefully he can put it to good use. Oh, what a crazy turn of events today has been.
So reluctant to get stuck in. They know that this is the final one. There's no 2 ways about it. Only the points here that you earn can be added. Flash, take a knock and do go down to very likely 3 players here with Bozy already on half. Topsy getting backed off the angle. Rolex rolls up to confirm it, and Team Flash now have to fade away over the horizon, away from Gaming Stars, as the next circle is 3 seconds away.
A crazy final gambit from Fourth Rise. They lose a player, but get the circle once again. But that puts them in danger right now. Teams should know that's a 2-man from at least this area around them. They may begin to assault that position.
But what teams are going to be left as 4 players when they move through there? S2G may have trouble getting out. Furia on the west, they're going to have a tough time getting off of this bridge against Goat Team and Fourth Rise as well on their position. This north side is looking treacherous. Aurora have already lost players. BTR, their big challenge on the east side now is Aurora. And beyond that, they just have to step forwards onto these hills, but there is Gaming Stars on the north edge.
Time begins to slow down. You head towards the 22-minute mark with still 11 teams remaining, 32 players still up. It's a wild amount of teams to still be alive at this stage of the game, as well as players. Everyone knows just how important these final points on the day can be. For S2G on 75 points, like I said, a miraculous run from them on the final day.
This has such a big angle over towards BTR. They know everything about their movements, but everybody has to move forwards. A nade over the top looks good. Oh, just a little bit long, but the damage is still pouring in at BTR, trying to flee, trying to flood on down, but Doc can't quite stay alive for it. Federalis is down. Top is knocked as well, as Goat Team's taking casualties. Fury are plowing their way through. Fourth Rise potentially under threat here, but the teams with 4 players are starting to fumble, are starting to crumble. Hamzy goes low, and Razak's on the inside. Solke, though, is able to handle the unwelcome caller at the top of the stairs. It's S2G stay as 4, as BTR fall.
2G staying as 4, fantastic work for them. Still not a peep out of Fourth Rise just yet. A slow burn out towards the finish. But a finish it still will be. The get-go on the checkered flag, they are just about limping through now to the finish line.
I think the only danger for Fourth Rise right now in the next minute 2 is Pandem. Is Pandem pushing across the road and trying to take their compound from them.
We're slowly getting in towards those placement points now, and although Fourth Rise only found 1 elimination on the game, there's not enough here. Scarface trying to hold off against Aurora Gaming as they make their way in. Kedge still playing on the outside, not messing about here. Knows he needs to find Nox, knows he needs to cripple other teams around the lobby if they want to stay alive as 2.
Aurora finds a player from Ulf. Scarface has been knocked. Ketch desperately moving in now to look for this res, and will stick it entirely. Will not be on the angles to watch for approaching players now, but luckily, seems like nobody's really going for it. S2G have taken a knock as well. Gaming Stars want to roll down this hillside. If they get rid of Flash and Aurora, that's when Fourth Rise need to worry. The next circle is about to show us where it's going.
No way.
No way. Teams are going to have to leave by Edema.
The Fourth Rise once again get themselves a compound. The Miramar circles have been kind, but you cannot deny that they had a great split at the start of the game and a great push over towards 7-2-1, identifying this as a strong spot on the map to play.
So many teams forced into Bahia del Mar fairly early on. Scarface is knocked again. Not Aaron. Wolf are going to have to pick themselves back up. Ketch going for this res. They have to move. Blank. Ulf have to move. The survival prospects here for Ulf are so low. They are in the gutter right now. Is that a nade? Was that from Boom? Popping a smoke in there?
Just
off his ankle.
Try and deny the sideline there, yeah. The Fourth Rise, what a nice game to have at the end of the day to secure your championship. Smoke starting to bloom around Ulf at the moment as S2G rocks up. Look to clear out these players. The nade goes wide.
2G trying to get rid of Ulf. 2 teams from Tertier, and Scarface steps out, loses the challenge and has to back away. First aid kit's necessary. Team Flash are taking punishment in the meantime from Aurora, but it's S2G to try and turn the screw. Over onto Ulf. Another nade in, a bounce on the back, catches catch, but doesn't do a lot of damage. Solke has been knocked though. That comes from Gaming Stars. A third Turkish team enters the fight, and catch steps out wide, straight for one, and it's all up to Scarface to keep them alive, but they cannot do it. It is 4 Thrives to take the top spot. Pakistan.
It's been a rocky road to get here, but they make it finally. It is a hard push in. They'll have seen the elimination feed and relief fading into this team. An incredible run yesterday set themselves up for a chilled out day today.
And they did. Furia trying to cross the road. 4 Thrives can still go a little bit further here with the circle as it sits. They got one of the very few compounds going. One of the very few positions of hard cover. Likely that Aurora and Gaming Stars face off against one another as Goat Team and Furia trade nades back and forth.
The 4 Thrives are going to trade nades of their own, preventing teams from getting underneath them. Looking to push even further here. We see Aaron devastated by this one. But a second place, once again, it hurts. It feels bad for Ulf. But we know that they're just going to come back stronger.
They are still pouring damage in. Igor gets knocked by a nade. Furia are suffering, but there's still one left going. Ayala will stand tall on the inside. Potential to get the res, but they have to leave. They don't have time. Silence, I think he's dead in the water. Committing for this res is just too risky. You don't have the time.
Furia likely to go down here to the blue as it starts to just usher them in or usher them out of this match. Rolex from Gaming Stars will look over towards Pandem down the hill. But it's 4 Thrives with the only compound in the circle right now.
And every single other team is tearing chunks out of each other. Blank, nobody has more than 3 players. It's Aurora and Gaming Stars and Pandem who have got that accolade. Furia moving in and not sweeping through 4 Thrives position. Instead, they turn their attention over towards Aurora. Gaming Stars have lost another to a knock and a third.
Rolex looking for more here. Pandem somehow keeping this alive. Rolex will go down, and Pandem looks to push up further, but the distance is just far too great. As Falak steps out, actually gets a good shot over towards Leon.
Down he goes. They should know that they've done it now. They will be very confident. With all the cameras surrounding 4 Thrives, the pressure is lifted. They can play unleashed. Is this where Falak and Hazaifa come alive to close us down for a smash?
Potentially. You never know here as Hazaifa will pick up Leon, leaving Aurora as the only 3-man squad left remaining. A last hurrah from them.
2 players from Pakistan already crowned kings, now looking to ascend. Up the hill they go. Aurora's there for the challenge, and it is Pandem who are bearing the brunt of Falak's wrath here. As he dips back behind the smoke, they will fall, but Falak is the trade. Furia could take down Hazaifa now. He can't go for the res. They may fall in third.
Falak will finally go down. Hazaifa, the last player alive here for 4 Thrives. A podium finish, but they will sit atop it. At the end of the day, they are finally out, and it's down to just these 2 teams.
Furia with a massive game. 13 eliminations, a guaranteed second place at least. But it is just too little. It is just too late. I don't think that they can overtake on the tables either. They're just a little bit too far out of reach. With a 1v3? Is that possible? Is it possible that Furia could take it if Chief's able to get a 1v3? This might actually be a second place. Stolen away from Ulf, but it's not going to happen. Aurora finally find a chicken, but it is not about them. 4 Thrives take the top spot.
The champions of this tournament, Hazaifa the pile driver, IQ the team's glue, Falak on the attack, and T24 shuts the door here at PMGO 2026 Season 1.
What a finish! 4 Thrives able to hold out right until the last. It was so close. Hull gave them a run for their money, but they kept their heads high. And Pakistan sings their praises. 4 players. Nobody could stand in their way.
Oh, with an incredible run. The hunt certainly began today for them, but they were not able to chase down the Pakistan team.
Let's head down to the stage to crown 4 Thrives your champions.
What a performance for Tribes Esports! This is a moment we will never forget throughout PUBG Mobile history. For Tribes, guys, congratulations! I would like to welcome you to the main stage here to have a quick interview together. You may take your trophy together with you. Yes, of course. Sekali lagi tepuk tangan untuk For Tribes! What an incredible journey throughout the group stage, survival stage, and now here in the grand stage of Tennis Indoor Stadium, Senayan. I know it's a lot for you guys. Once again, congratulations. This is your moment. And can you guys talk to us what you feel right now? Palak.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. It's been a very long and hard journey for us. It's been 6 years, 7 years since all of us are grinding day and night. And today, Alhamdulillah, I'm speechless.
Take a moment. This is your moment.
Okay.
You want to say something, Palak?
Thank you so much for everything. And
Kiingereza baba.
Alhamdulillah, guys, we are finally champions.
Juara PMGO!
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. This trophy is for Pakistan and for all the fans who has been supporting us since long time. Thank you so much, guys.
Zaifa, you want to say something?
Alhamdulillah.
So anyway, this victory earns you the title of the strongest team in the world right now. Do you feel confident that you guys can say you are the best team in the world now?
Pakistan!
Can you say that you guys are the best team in the world now that you guys have this trophy?
Alhamdulillah. That's all I can say for right now.
Okay, so talking about the best team in the world, how confident are you going into EWC with this momentum? Because you just won the global trophy.
We are looking forward to get that trophy as well.
All right, we are going to wait for that moment. So, any final words that you guys want to say to everyone who supported you throughout the tournament? Maybe all of your fans here coming from Pakistan, and maybe for those of them who's been watching out there at home. Want to say something? Thank you. Is
Wanalazimisha
watching live here.
wanalazimisha kuongea lugha nzima tulazima. Lazima asante, mshukuru Mungu bado
For Indonesian fans, I would like to thank them all who came here, supported us, despite us being their rivals. We love you all.
Pakistani hao mshinda.